What up, gang? What up, gang? How we doing? Here we are. Oh my gosh. Boys, not gonna lie, I am so fucking tired. I literally fell asleep during yin yoga right before this. So, we're gonna do the best we can, but if I fall asleep during stream, just know that might be a possibility. But what up, dudes? How we doing? I'm gonna go feed the cats real quick and then we'll get started. Gang, gang. What up, what up, what up? Alright. Watch the birds.
I swear I'm happy. Look at me, I'm smiling. I wonder what the fish think when they see a ship sink. Bet the sharks don't think their shit stinks by instinct. As soon as the ship sank, I didn't blink. Like there goes the think tank. Knew it was time to bail out. Like the big banks, I'm Chet Hanks. Finding his father's actual island in the back of the mind. Actually glad that we're dying. Like we'll pass by. Can't grasp time. Asleep half the time. Half asleep, half online. Crying in the back of the line. Man, what is this handwritten fan fiction? A damn system that operates on division like a transmission. New world got me feeling old as the human curse. Yeah, the Lucy show was just an ode to Lucifer. We all sound stupider, swear we know how a computer works. Well, get erase the past, control the future first. I'm a moving car, chewing dirt, shooting star, proving worth. Every part of the universe, fuck a movie star with a Louis purse to make sure that none of your DNA gets through. The tube is just a test to you. Class is exhausting. I just want a desk with some headroom, blessed with the best view. The face brick, right away for your compliance. It'll be base motel if I resort to violence. It's a war on consciousness and confidence. They want you to not want to live. Never broke when I died a bit. Prison warden, auctioneers looking for the highest bid. In love with my love life. I can feel it like the blood on my buck knife. Buzz like a bug light. Keep chugging your bud light. Enough if you buck right. Let me simplify, there's semperfi. A war monument isn't what anyone would want to be remembered by. One's claiming that they hit the snakes, led in spies. This is the genesis of genocide. Can't remember if I ever died. Smash my head on bricks till I find a better side. Laugh it up, because the cake batter's a drug. The number one grandpa just shattered his mug. Technology will advance as long as there's a battery plug. Those who die in airplanes didn't believe in gravity enough. Praying for downpours at your clown parade. Just see how quick I can wipe that smile right off your face. The sun's scheduled to explode in light of recent events. We'll hand you a list of facts you're expected to know. You'll see it when
tied up, leave it hanging in the garage like a deer carcass. I'm a real artist, bloody easel, he's promise. Bloody easel, he's promise. Nasty work, this a dirty job, it has to work. Or what if you gon' live with my arms, patch it up. Bullet hole, roll it like an aqueduct. Crackheads on thin ice like a hockey puck. No canuck, like Wisconsin, I'm about my bucks. I'll be honest, I don't have that much. And if I was to be honest, I'd probably request a trade. Foot in the grave, where's the slave for minimum wage? What a shame, on a break, sorry Kane. It's a big game before I call it like Dame back in Portland. Move to the U, then work on the floor. You know hoop, so you gotta get up every morning. Beat the storm, beat the odds, and I made beats with God. Shooting from his fly as I scored every shot, yeah.
Where the fuck are the birds?
So hot, melt the snow outside. Really had to go outside, be somewhere in the wintertime.
Not ready yet.
Surfs up till we eat fruit and fuck. Fucked up the food pyramid, now I'm throwing up, yuck. I've been drinking water for lunch. She just turned 15, now has steam. Spiking out his punch. Rich cannibals with Peru disease, catching flights with honeys while I'm saving the bees. We're the pilots in their jeans, and we're the guy I just breathe in the breeze.
LOL. Dude, I just went and made my honey water, and that's it. And I didn't even feed the cats. But I did now. What's up? How we doing? How was everyone's weekend? My weekend was pretty fucking awesome. Pretty swell. I got here way early. I was all by my lonesome. Glad y'all are here now. Yeah, including me. Dude, I almost fell asleep on the couch. I was just like chilling on the couch for a second right before. I've been running around too much. I'm so looking forward to sleeping after stream. Oh my god. But what up, dudes? How's everyone doing? Last night was the greatest show of my life. It was insane. They brought out the violinist that they keep having fill in. His name's Jake. Everyone lost their mind. It was incredible. What up, Juanita? What up, Ghost? What up, Noel? What up, everybody? Spartan, Shaners, Eternally Bumpin's here. Tommel from Russia. You were trying to teach your dog how to swim? Wait, dogs don't come with that inherently built in? What kind of dog? She doesn't know she can swim. Oh, poor pup. Yep. That's funny, though. So wait, are you saying that did she fail so far? She can't figure it out. She's like, Dad, I don't have fins, I have paws. What up, Jen? TK. What up, what up, what up? I can't believe, dude, well, the summer's not almost over, but my last show is on Tuesday. And then it's just fucking memorizing this damn script until I go to Costa Rica. She's afraid of water for some reason, and never let anyone do it too. Yeah, I guess maybe she has some water trauma. You never know. Poor little pup. I hope she learns, and I hope she likes it. Dogs, tell her that dogs do like water. That's good information for her to know. But, let's fucking go. Let's get started. What was this video? Oh, this is a nice lady that lives up by where, Juan Sebastian was murdered by that fucking cuck ICE agent. Dude, did you see his wife came out and was like, he's a psychopath, dude. I've been waiting to fucking talk about this guy.
Can I get your name?
My name is Mary Hayes.
And Mary Hayes, you approached us.
I'll feed it again.
You approached us this morning. Why?
I did because I want people in the United States, I want people everywhere to know that this is a nice little town. There's nice people, there's hard-working people. We're a mill town. We were built by immigrants. Barefoot is built on immigration. Immigrants built our mills. We're a mill town. We're hardworking people. Our kids go to school. If you look in your intersection, these people are all going to work. We're all trying to make it. I don't want ICE to make us seem like we're a war-ridden. I just want America to know that this is a nice place. Look at the people. I'm sure I'm not the only one that approached you, and I hope I'm not. That say, we're a nice town. We're a good town. We're hardworking, honest, common sense, Maine people, which is why people are protesting this so much. And he was just trying to make a living the same as you and the same as me.
Yeah.
And he's dead. And I watched his wife and his daughter react at the other corner the other day.
A dabble do you remind me before I go that it'll be your birthday and we'll sing you happy birthday before I peace.
when this happened, and I heard the bellowing
I think this is a Maine accent, right?
howls of a wife who saw her husband laying in a pool of blood in the street. I watched a little girl fall to her knees, grabbing her pink backpack, seeing the sight of her father over here. None of them deserve that. We don't deserve that. We didn't deserve to wake up like that. We're in front of a church. If you look around, you're going to see 6 steeples. We're religious. We're hardworking. We're common sense. We're good Maine people. And we just don't deserve this to happen to our state and our little town.
Did you hear the sound of gunshots?
I did not.
You were just here for the scene after?
I just happened to see after. But I just wanted to say something because this is the right time of day where it happened. And you can see people are just going to work, you know? Just trying to make it. And
And ICE is just out here trying to fucking murder everyone.
nobody deserves to die for that.
You doing okay?
I am. I had a hard time because I heard the mother and the daughter. You know, I understand he got shot and I know how sad that is. But to hear a mother or a wife cry, it just hits you in the soul. You can feel it.
Not these fucking lizards, they can't. Not these fucking ICE agents. That dude was literally crying for himself. Did you guys see that picture of that fucking cuck? He's like, and his partner's got his hand on his shoulder like, it's okay, buddy, you did a good job. You did a real good job. Nice job.
You can feel her pain. And you can't just walk away from that and act like you didn't. Which is why, you know.
Okay? Yep. All right. Can I get your name?
My name is Mary Hayes.
And Mary Hayes, you approached us.
I'll feed it again.
You approached us this morning. Why?
I did because I want people in the United States, I want people everywhere to know that this is a nice little town. There's nice people, there's hardworking people. We're a mill town.
I think it just restarted. But yeah, Sherlock said it's never immigrants or any other marginalized group that's the problem. It's never the people with no money and no power causing all the problems. Biggest lie in the world. Yeah. There's a crying Kyle Rittenhouse picture. Yeah. What's his name again? Something Boudre or whatever. David Bruylet. I think it was this one. I feel like there's a better version. He's like, I want to give you a kiss, buddy. You're okay. It's okay. You didn't do anything bad. I love you, buddy boy. Yeah, wait. Let's watch. What's her name? Ashley Broylet.
So I'll tell you, David back in November brought up that he had accepted a job with ICE. I thought of that it was
This
just
is
a
his
delusional
ex-wife.
because I'm used to him talking crazy, so to speak. So I said, yeah, sure you are, buddy. You know, I didn't realize that he was actually working for ICE until yesterday, and I was completely shocked because I'm like, how do you keep getting into these jobs where you're around guns all the time?
Maine is kind of like a mix of, it's like Southie Boston and something else. Some other backwoods shit.
I asked him what was going on. He told me that I don't need to be answering questions for any.
Trump's giving over the FIFA trophy. Wait, who won? Did Argentina lose? Bro, the craziest thing, because the game was at 3, yoga had at 4, and the teacher like posted on Instagram like, if no one cares about the World Cup, come do yin yoga today. But when I rode there and when I rode back, the streets were completely dead. Like, when did everyone become obsessed with FIFA? Did this just happen, or is it always like this? Spain won? That's surprising. I thought Argentina had the win. I thought that's what the whole point was. Peter Thiel's cousin lost? Aw, shucks.
Anybody, that all I needed to know was that it was a justified shooting and that he did do it. And he claimed that this man had tried to run him over. And I said, I don't see that in anything, and I've watched it from all angles. All I seen is how the car was going in circle after the fact. And then he's like, well, I need you to lie about my character because this is how, like, this is what it comes down to is my character. I don't want you talking about any of the abuse in our relationship. Like, this is literally about—
He said, I don't want you talking about any of the abuse I did to you in our relationship. This is about me.
about me, actually. I told him that I was not going to lie for him.
Argentina got humiliated? Okay, that's cool. I can't wait to see some of the highlights and see Messi crying, because that's it seems like all he does.
That
He's like, teacher, teacher. He just goes and cries to the ref like LeBron James, like a little bitch.
I've waited years to speak my truth. I've been silenced long enough, and now I need to come out with everything because a man lost his life. So it was abuse, not only to me, but to our daughter. And even being divorced from him, I've dealt with harassing phone calls, threats of him wanting to kill me. I believe that this man was murdered. I believe that David's mental health played a part in what happened. I think what happened was
lack of mental health.
He was standing there during that operation, had a PTSD moment, and hit fight or—
A PTSD moment? Bullshit. That's giving him way too much credit. This dude just wants to hurt people, and he was given a literal full license to do so.
flight mode. And unfortunately, a man lost his life due to it. And that—
Crazy. Dude, everybody trolling Dean
How to Train Your
Withers.
Liberal.
Have you guys know like Liv and Viv who go on Dean Withers streams and sing "We Are Charlie Kirk"? This dude this dude is another one of his hecklers. He just calls him Puss Puss. And it's pretty funny. I love watching Dean flounder.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Are you gonna let me fucking finish this time, puss puss?
Listen, man, last time you joined the stream, you ended up saying that you're gonna be in bed with me. So you just asked me if I'm gonna let you finish. Is that like a sexual innuendo thing? Like finish in me? And if so, absolutely not. Kyler from class of 09.
Hey, those are your words, man. That's how you're making it.
No, those were
say
your words. That's what you fucking said. Do you remember the last time I kicked you? You're like, dude, you're gonna be scared, push, when you wake up in bed with me.
Yeah, I didn't deny that. I'm not denying that. Who's to say? And then you kicked me right after because you're scared.
I would be scared if I woke up in bed with you. Who are you? Why do you want to be in my bed? Are you sexually aroused by me, Kyler of 09? Are you sexually aroused by me?
Did you miss the part where you're going to be telling me you love me?
Yes, yeah, like this is an O3 fan pick, puss.
Bro. Can I fucking finish this time?
Okay, what do you want to say? Puss.
Jeez. I don't want my America, right? Because I don't think we've ever gotten this far. I mean, I know like we're dug in, right? And like this is gonna I'm just gonna keep calling motherfucker. I'm just gonna keep fucking calling. I'm the Joker to your Batman. I'm the Shadow to your Sonic. I am the Biff to your George McFly, but you're not gonna get that reference because you're younger than fucking Bluey. All right? So I don't like twinkle toes like you, yeah, taking all the time out of your day to make these live streams, and then you get off and you take these diabolical back shots in bed. And I know.
Why does it? What? Whoa, dude! You can't say that I'm younger than Bluey, then say I take diabolical back shots. That's a little.
You do, and that just reminded me. I mean,
I
Parker's in
know.
on it
He
too.
said,
Maybe
"Oh,
in the
you
notes
do."
at Puss, but not in the real world, my friend.
Also, you said that your trans man friend being more masculine than you.
True.
That's not saying a lot, considering that my wiener dog is more masculine than you.
Oh my god. All right, Puss, you're fucking banned. Okay.
Dude, I've gone on Dean's lives and harassed him and saying, "We are Charlie Kirk." I've only gotten on once. I don't know how other people get on all the time. I mean, I think they just sit there. Anytime that I pass him, I request, and I got on once. And it was fucking hilarious. He booted me after I got to "We Carry the Flame."
Hey kids, skedaddle.
Yeah. Do it. Fucking run, pussy.
How to Train Your Liberal. Do you support Trump?
I love harassing Dean grifters. This little Mormon boy. Dude, this was so funny. Okay, so this guy apparently comes up to this bro, King Trot, and he starts telling him to shut up or something, and he messes with him, and then he falls over. Whoops. And then King Trot just ices him.
In the ambulance tonight.
He fucked his knee up.
The hospital. He done tore his knee. I'm the brother on the microphone killing all the beats. Homie tried to punch me and failed. And tore his whole damn ACL. Shout out to my homies here. They gon' get you, bro. I'm the brother on the mic taking pictures, though. That's a true story. Homie was tripping. I'm the brother on the microphone. Make him listen. He done tore his knee. Chit. He tore his knee. Trying to mess with me. He done tore his knee. Chit. He tore his knee. Trying to mess with me. He done tore his knee. Chit. Tore his knee tonight. Shout out to the paramedics, and they about to help you out. Give him some morphine. You know he need it without a doubt. That knee swole as hell. I'm the brother on the mic that never fail. He tried to run across the street and challenge me and tore up his whole damn knee. That's what you get, man, messing with God's people. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee,
Trying to mess with me.
He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. Tore his knee, get. And now y'all let him in the journey. Good God. Shout out to my dude for the tip in the red. Homie right here, I hope you learn from this. I'm the brother on the mic to make him burn for this. We gon' put it on the Instagram, dog, in your fit. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. Tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with King.
The paramedics completely ignoring him but keeping this guy like right next to him is so funny to me.
Homie tore his ACL and his MCL. I'm the brother on the microphone, really do it well. Homie ran across the street and simply fell. Now he going to the hospital. Good God.
Now we go into the hospital.
Peace sign up for the people, man. Let them know you all right. That's what you should have used that earlier instead of the middle fingers you used. Messing with me. He done tore his knee. Yeah. Tore his knee, messing with me. He done tore his knee.
Dude, you can't mess with King. Funny as shit. Okay, that was part 2. There is a part 1. I gotta see that.
You could have got that part on camera. He done broke his whole leg being retarded. You ain't gonna do that no more, is you, dummy? Hold up, stay right here. Get this to how you feel, bro? Well, don't be retarded, man. Don't try to be a showman, dog. I'm the one with the mic. He done ran over here like an ignorant. Look, this what you get. Did nobody tell you to do that? He's almost called a crazy hook, though. The knee probably better than what I was gonna give you.
I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do. Steal his money or something? It looks like he's pushing the money back over toward him when it starts.
Hell no, that wasn't God's plan, bro.
Dude, he fucks with him, hurts himself, and then he's just gotta sit there in front of him. This is so embarrassing.
This nigga thought
yeah, humbled the fuck out of this guy.
he's gonna charge me up, end up tearing his ACL. end of grade. Shout out to the homie, man. You know I never fail.
Bro, he is hurting.
Got a knee brace on, he gon' need an ACL, man. You know what, brother, killing it up on the block. Hold up, get homie here, man. Do not stop. I ain't done, man. The homie trying to run over here with middle fingers. Now he about to be a backup singer. I'm talking homie on the ground cause he tore his leg up. I'm the brother on the mic that be getting bread, bro. Homie tore his whole knee. That's what you getting, dog, for running across the street. And homie was jaywalking. Now he on the ground like he up in a damn coffin. You should've got that part on camera.
Oh, dude, he's fucked up. That's so funny. He done tore his knee, messing with me. He done tore his knee. Yeah, 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 yeah. Also, who shared this in the chitty chat? Tulsi Gabbard's brother arrested for trying to lure children in a hotel room. Guys, this doesn't sound right one bit. This sounds really out of character. I can't believe this.
The family of a man who allegedly tried to lure children to a hotel room in Waikiki on Sunday tells us he is suffering a mental health episode. Honolulu police today charged 55-year-old Batardi Gabbard with custodial interference after he allegedly offered children money and guns.
I thought she was going to say money and guns. Hey kids, do you want money and guns? All you have to do is...
Even asked for their names and wrote them in a notebook. Police say the children refused and he walked away. Gabbard is the brother of former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and the son of State Senator Mike Gabbard. The senator tells us his son has been on a drug binge and was admitted to a hospital for a psychiatric evaluation this afternoon.
Sure. Yeah, psych binge. You mean, drug binge. You mean he was born into the Gabbard family, so he's a crazy person? Off topic, what the fuck set off the Florida earthquake? I don't know. Def not a PDF, not with that face. Dude, that guy was hideous, right? You could tell he needs his hard drive search.
Whether you like him or not, I think is irrelevant at this particular moment because Hunter Biden was just on the I've Had It podcast and they just released a little teaser clip for the rest of the episode that I guess is going to drop later today. And I cannot.
Oh, yeah. Someone else posted this and said, evil gays, dude, there. Hunter Biden knows about the evil gays.
Agree or be more thankful that he said what he said. Look at this.
I believe that the biggest problem in America is in Washington, D.C. with the federal government is it not the oligarchy.
Closet cases.
It's the closetocracy, as I call it. It is.
He said it's the biggest problem. I think it might be, dude.
And I'm being totally...
Because they can be blackmailed.
Serious. I know for certain, and I'm not kidding now.
That's where it gets good.
Is that there is, and everybody in D.C. knows this. I mean, I live...
But yeah, I'm sure that honestly, dude, the fucking fires in California or in Canada were literally spaced out evenly and in a straight fucking line. Like this was an attack. I think the Venezuela thing is, I mean, the timing, come on. How much more perfect timing could they ask for, right? So they got a fucking earthquake machine. It's not above them. Dude, today, when I was riding home, too, from yoga, the fucking sky, the entire sky looked like a goddamn flashlight. It was so goddamn bright because it's just got this crazy thin sheet of the white aluminum shit. So the whole sky looks like the fucking sun. It was blinding. And literally, everyone's just watching the fucking FIFA shit or staring down at their phones. No one is like, what? Like, dude, the light looks weird. It's really bad, and no one fucking cares. We live in Don't Look Up, bro. I'm gonna rewatch that movie. That shit was good, because it's true.
There for 20 years. Everybody knows. There is, like, this closeted gay mafia, largely...
He said closeted gay mafia. Peter Thiel's PayPal mafia. Exactly.
Republican that exist in Washington, D.C., and everybody knows every single one of them who's gay.
Thank you. thank you. I feel like it's literally been an open secret for fucking ever that this is the case. And having someone like him, who literally could not have been more in the thick of it, coming out and basically confirming, like, oh, it's 100% true. A huge swath of conservative, family values, straight, Republican congresspeople, people in DC in general, are fucking gay, or bi-curious, or queer in general. You know, it's the definition, just another instance of rules for thee, but not for me. They will sit there and say that gay people are a danger to our way of life, write laws, put laws into place.
But then they be sucking and fucking in the back rooms, boys.
That discriminate against these people for doing the things that they're also doing behind the scenes. It's just, and if we want to go one further, what we know about the Epstein files and that it wasn't just little girls, I think that is why they are so committed to driving home this concept that all queer people, all gay people, no matter what, every single one is like perverted or a child molester or a child predator. Because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They happen
because they're freaks
to be gay, and they're also child predators.
Yeah.
They know it to be true for them. So they think that's how everyone is.
Yup.
No, you freak. God, I swear. It's like, just come out and admit it. Just admit it.
Lindsey Graham, just admit you're gay so you stop getting blackmailed. Oh wait, you're dead.
But they won't.
Idiot.
They won't ever. Because their party, their entire platform is based around hating the same people. Based on lies. It's just, it's insane. It's insane. So we're not all the way there yet, but I want to commend Hunter Biden for this. Thank you very much. Can't wait for the full episode. Keep it up. Whether you like him or not,
Ooh, Black Death, you found a little orange kitty in your street. You're gonna try and collect this cat? Yes. She's calling. She says, please, I want to be part of the gang. Warboner gang. She'd be a great addition.
Think is irrelevant at this particular moment because Hunter Biden was just on the I've Had It podcast and they just released.
Oh, someone sent the 5 dancing Israelis. You know I'm always ready to take a look at this.
Towers burning from her apartment in New Jersey. She noticed 3 men on top of a van posing for pictures with the towers burning in the background.
And I could see that they were like happy. You know, they didn't look shocked to me. You know, they didn't look shocked.
The witness called police, who stopped the van hours later and arrested 5 men. All 5, it turns out, were Israeli. They were turned over to the FBI. Sources tell ABC News during a check of national security databases, some of the men were listed as having had connections with Israeli intelligence. The men said they were just taking pictures at the time. They said...
I love that he says, some of the men. There's 5 of them. Some would imply at least 3. Otherwise, you'd say a couple. Some is at least 3 or 4. Have intelligence ties?
They worked for a company called Urban Moving. The FBI obtained a search warrant for the company's...
Dude, I wouldn't doubt for a second that it was Paul that interviewed them. He's like, yeah. No, they're good to go.
Offices. Not long after the arrests, the offices of Urban Moving were simply abandoned. Almost everything was left behind. In jail, the 5 Israelis were repeatedly interrogated and given lie detector tests.
Yuval Aviv is a counterterrorism advisor to the U.S. Congress, but was once a spy for Israel's secret service Mossad. He says Urban Moving was a front company for Israeli intelligence.
According to the FBI, 2 of those movers were identified as Mossad agents.
The driver of the moving van, Sivan Kurzberg. We are Israeli. We are not your problem. Your problems are our problems. The Palestinians are the problem.
FBI reports confirmed that the men were...
I'm surprised. Yeah, why didn't they just blame it on Palestine?
Not taking somber pictures of a horrific event. When when their 76 pictures were developed, they revealed the men had indeed been celebrating, smiling, hugging each other, and high-fiving. One of the pictures even featured Sivan Kurzberg holding a lighter up with the burning tower in the background. They lied to the police about where they had been that morning. They were carrying plane tickets for immediate...
Dude, didn't they literally go on TV in Tel Aviv and they were like, yes, we did it. We helped the assassins. We film it. Yes, I am Bibi Netanyahu's nephew.
...departure to different places around the globe. The FBI confirmed that 2 of the men had ties to Israeli intelligence and came to suspect that they had indeed been on a mission for the Mossad. The FBI reports show how the men gave confused and often conflicting accounts of when and how they learned about...
Can I also say all of them hideous looking, right? My God, what a bunch of Tel Aviv 2s, which is an LA 0.
...what was happening and when they arrived at the parking lot. Oded Elner even said they had arrived there shortly after 8 a.m., which would have been 45 minutes before the attacks even began. This is in line with one of the eyewitnesses that had placed their urban moving systems van at the parking lot at 8 a.m. They were immediately transferred to federal custody, held for 71 days, and then deported back to Israel. Don't worry, they were just spying on Arab terrorists.
And while the FBI or certain sources might believe that, in fact, they were Israeli intelligence, they don't believe that the U.S. was a target, that they were actually investigating Muslim groups?
They began when this woman was watching the Twin Towers. Woman was...
Love it, dude. Guys, 9/11 was a perfect terror attack, and there was nothing weird or fishy about it at all. Perfect. One for the books. All right, let's... Too Lazy to Try covered some of that JD Vance interview that we started watching last on Thursday. Let's watch a little.
Candor, like, we absolutely screwed up the comms of the Epstein files, like we just did. But do I think the reason we screwed up the comms is because we were trying to hide something? No. I think the reason we screwed up the comms of the Epstein files...
Wait, I want to watch... Tim Dillon had a fucking epic rant about this today.
The negatives in our country.
Wait. One sec, please. What the fuck? I'll find it, one sec.
Files is one, you know, Pam Bondi said the client list is on my desk, right?
Well, they had binders. They were standing in front.
But those binders were largely documents that had already been released, right? So here's, let me try to
what was
let
the
me try to defend.
purpose of that performative display of the Epstein files? And she was saying there's tens of thousands of hours.
Oh, here. I think it was this.
This is the thing when, like, JD Vance goes on Rogan and goes, well, you know, they have this whole discussion about the Epstein docs, and JD is like, I'll go to my death believing it was a larger conspiracy. You know, it's kind of like these guys are like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, no, you're the vice president. What are you talking about?
Like, I mean, it's crazy what Epstein was doing, right, guys? That's what JD Vance is saying. He's like, wow, who would have thunk it? But, you know, we can't give you the files because Bill Gates is in them, so sorry. But yeah, I mean, they were doing wild stuff.
JD Vance is talking about this like he's a guy at a bar in the town I grew up in on Long Island, where he'd be like, I'll always believe it was a conspiracy. You sure? That guy owns a pool company. He's gonna be like, yeah, what are you gonna do? I'll always believe someone on there. This guy's the vice president of the United States of America, going on the biggest podcast in the world, going, yep, I read all the files. Trump's innocent. Also, I'll always believe there was a greater conspiracy there. I'll always think something was going on.
Well, what am I going to do? I'm the vice president. That's J.D. Vance's character arc right now. Is his whole entire thing is just telling people what the vice president can't do. Like, what about the war in Iran? He goes, there's not much I can do. I just kind of hang out and, watch as I'm part of the administration that betrays its voters and does the opposite of everything it said it was going to do. I just kind of hang out and, this Epstein thing, who knows? What are you going to do? It's a lot of what are you going to do energy from the vice president. I'm not saying the vice president's like an all-powerful figure, but it just...
Bro, he's literally second in charge here. Like, right? The deep state. They are the deep state.
That, that's his argument? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, these Epstein docs, isn't that nuts, Joe? You heard about that? What? You're the vice president of the United States. They keep trying to play this game where they're like this folksy, kind of like relatable, like, yeah, these fucking elites, with they're fucking the kids, they're stealing your money. What? Who? You are doing
They're
it.
like, we hate to see it, guys. We really do. What a shame, right?
You're the ones who are doing it. And they're relying on the fact that some of their most ardent supporters, the ones who aren't directly being paid off, are the stupidest people in the world. So that still works on them. They're like, yeah, fucking Hillary. Bleh.
Lock her up, dude, right? Let's lock her up.
Hillary Clinton. Fucking Hillary Clinton. The guy, they're in the White House. They have the Congress. They have the Senate. They have the Supreme Court. It is them. It is now them. I don't want to hear about the deep state anymore. You're playing me for a fool. You're playing everyone for a fool. You brought in Kash Patel. You brought in that other guy, Dan Bongino. You threw him out, or he left, whatever. You brought in Pam Bondi and then threw her out. I'm sick of hearing about this deep state. All of these people, you have to be one of the stupidest people in the world to fall for this shit at this point. Truly. You are peddling the dumbest, most...
Jail.
By the way, I hate to use this word, but cringe. It's literally cringe. You watch this and you go...
Lock her up was 1,000,000 years ago. Dude, I'm telling you, Trump is going to do it soon because everybody's turning on him. He's going to start doing the classics. He's going to start playing the hits. Lock her up. And fake news. It's fake news.
I feel so disgusted by the fact that they think people are still gonna believe this shit. This is the thing when J.D. Vance goes on Rogan and goes, well, they have this whole discussion about the Epstein docs, and J.D. is like, I'll go to my death believing it was a larger conspiracy. It's kind of like these guys are like, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's like,
yeah, hilarious.
Film.
I don't know what the purpose of it was, but I know that the effect of it was to make people mistrust the entire effort.
All right, so we have J.D. Vance on Joe Rogan's podcast promoting a book, but really he's using this to try to set himself up to run in 2028. So
what is he doing? Hillbilly Elegy 2?
Needs to distance himself from the Epstein Files fiasco and the Iran war disaster, while also appeasing Trump and his base, which is nearly impossible. He's just getting roasted by both the neocon MAGA crowd and the anti-Israel America First crowd, like Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Nick Fuentes fans. Most of the top comments are about Peter Thiel, Palantir, and JD being compromised. And people like Ben Shapiro don't like JD either because he thinks he blames Israel too much and he tries to pander to conspiracy theorists and Tucker Carlson fans and Democrats apparently. People are even calling him a Nick Fuentes supporter now, even though Nick and his fans hate him. So it seems like he's only losing people here. Like Dave Smith called this the worst case scenario for JD because the Warhawks are mad at him, but also he's still doing a half-assed defense of the war. So he's going to have a lot of trouble separating himself from that and Peter Thiel in the Epstein class, especially based on the comments on YouTube and Twitter. And if he can't manage to do that, I don't think he has a chance in 2028. But he seems to be leaning more towards Tucker Carlson's side because Tucker helped him get his VP position and they're good friends. And Tucker's kind of under the Thiel umbrella. So I think the plan is to get Tucker out ahead of the Iran war and anti-Israel sentiment growing. So then he can use his credibility to back JD, because JD is definitely going in that direction, but he has to walk a fine line right now because he still has to support Trump's decisions and placate the pro-Israel faction, which he's having a lot of trouble doing. Like with this podcast, he just ended up upsetting everybody. Like the Ben Shapiro Fox News demographic think he's trying to undermine the president because he's too soft on Iran and wants to have peace talks with them. He also blames Israel for sabotaging any kind of diplomacy with Iran.
And, you know, there's this Time article that came out yesterday. A friend sent it to me. It's like worth reading because it lists a bunch of people who have quite literally been paid by a former Trump campaign person who was himself paid by certain elements within the Israeli government. And those people are attacking me viciously for quite literally trying to accomplish the negotiation objective that the president set for the country, saying that we should not be negotiating with Iran. We should just keep the military campaign going indefinitely. And that is their explicit position. And coming after me saying that, you know, people have come after me and say that I'm influenced by Qatar, that I'm influenced by foreign governments, that, you know, I take my marching orders from Tucker Carlson. And there's just so much bullshit out there when what I'm actually trying to do is accomplish what the President of the United States told me to accomplish, which is a settlement of this that accomplishes our objectives. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. We have the free flow of oil and gas. And like, I should be clear, you know, I don't actually mind. I don't mind foreign governments try to influence the United States all the time. You know, Israel does it. Other countries do it. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. What bothers me is actually when Americans allow, meaning American leadership, allows that influence to affect their judgment and to affect what they are advocating for. That's what really bothers me. People are always going to try to influence the United States of America, whether they're allies of ours or whether they're enemies of ours. Again, when I open up the pages of Time magazine and I see that there's a literal foreign influence campaign being funded to tank the very deal that I was pursuing, and oh, by the way, many of the people who were receiving that money were actually attacking me in completely dishonest ways, you know, my response to that is, well, go to hell. I'm going to do what I have to do for the American people. I represent Americans first, and that's the way that I've tried to do this job.
But then whenever he's asked if he agrees with the war, he says he backs Trump's decisions and Iran can't have a nuke. So he can't go all the way, but I'm sure when he runs in 2028, he'll claim he's always against the war, and that's why he's being attacked for it. So it might make it easier for him if all the war hawks turn on him, because people look at that like he must be doing something right. I mean, to prove he's a reasonable moderate on Israel, he says he's been called an anti-Semite, which at this point is like a badge of honor. So I think he mentions this to be like, see, I'm not on Israel's side, I'm America first, and I'm being called an anti-Semite for it. But people aren't buying it. They feel like this is forced. And I think even Rogan kind of believes that too, because he questions JD twice about what he said to be.
Wait, is this real? iShowSpeed played a song at the FIFA World Cup? What do you mean?
Put your flags up in the air.
Wait, is this real? Why is iShowSpeed? He's a musician too now?
Hands up in the air. Put your flags up, cause this is the World Cup. Put your flags up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your flags up, leave them now. Let's go, let's fight. We up tonight. We'll break. That's right. One world, unite. We going. We live for this moment. We told them.
What the fuck, dude? We're gonna get... So this was always Show Speed's trajectory was that he was gonna become a musician now. He's gonna be new beyond. Dude, this is very confusing to me. This is like bigger than the Super Bowl, and they had Show Speed be the fucking entertainment. That's weird. Dude, these people are such plants. Literally all of them. Oh shit, we're gonna get in trouble. Hold on. Fuck. That was... Come on, don't kill us. We paused it. Okay. I think we're still here. That was miserable, dude. I used to kind of like Show Speed. He's like the least problematic out of most of them. But he's just one of those dudes, I mean, that like, I don't know. He has a little bit more of a personality, but literally when people come up to him, talk to him, he just like barks at them. Feeling my chest. Feeling my heart. Beat in my chest. Running around the field. Playing soccer with my dad. I love sports. FIFA is great. They didn't even make Argentina win. They're not cheaters. Could have had Michelle Branch. Yeah, for sure, dude. The fecal World Cup. Oh, man. All right, let's finish our video.
Be called that, and JD doesn't really have a response. So I think, honestly, he might be saying this as a tactic to try to convince people that he's really America first.
And Joe, the crazy thing is,
Show Speed spat on someone?
I'm like, people don't realize this. I'm actually in this, there's this massive pro-Israel, anti-Israel debate in the United States of America. I'm like the reasonable moderate. And I think that's what so many people don't realize is,
shut up, JD.
I've been accused of being an anti-Semite. I've been accused
for
of,
what reason?
Quite literally for, I've been accused of trying to, I guess, some people say that I've insulted the Jewish religion, which is insane. Like I have a ton of respect for the Jewish religion.
But
I mean, if you talk about...
What specifically did you say?
I don't know. I've never heard a good, compelling argument for why I'm an anti-Semite, even though I've been accused of being an anti-Semite by many people.
Jamie.
But
Jamie, pull up why JD Vance is an anti-Semite pedophile. Pull it up on Google. I mean, Grok.
What I say to these guys is, look at public opinion. Right now, Israel is losing the public opinion battle in the United States of America. It is a simple and obvious fact. Donald Trump has said that publicly. It's a simple and obvious fact.
Why do you think that is?
Well, let me finish this point.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my attitude towards this is Israel is an ally. Like France or like the United Kingdom, we're going to have disagreements with them. We're going to have agreements with them. There are areas where we're going to have similar interests and areas where our interests are going to diverge.
And he says Israel's an ally, which I don't think the America First crowd likes to hear. And I think even Tucker Carlson doesn't think they should be an ally. Then also, after JD gets...
He's a wall humper.
...on complaining about Israel sabotaging any kind of peace talks, Rogan starts pressing him on Israel's influence on American politics. And JD, after complaining about their influence, now tries to downplay it and is like, well, a bunch of countries influence us. That's just how it works. He also says Americans should be upset with leaders who are affected by Israel's influence, which, I mean, Donald Trump, I think, definitely is, and most of the people in his administration. So I guess JD thinks we should be upset with them.
Why is Israel losing American public opinion?
Well, the narrative is that Israel has a very disproportionate effect on American politics.
Yeah, I see that. I see that narrative. I mean, I actually think that
I fucking can't stand Joe's confused, questioning face.
Look, do they try to influence American politics? Yes, but like I said earlier, a lot of other countries do. I think
to the extent that Israel does,
I think some are better at it than others. I think the Israelis are definitely more effective at it than most, but I wouldn't say that they're the only effective country by any means that tries to influence American politics.
But it's more than that. The concern is that they're spying on American politicians, that there's concerns about funding, there's concerns about influence, there's concerns about whether or not politicians are, whether they're aligned with Israel or whether they're aligned with the United States first.
Well, there's certainly, I definitely get those concerns, but my sense is that the way that all foreign influence works in the United States is people try to manipulate American public opinion, and then from manipulating public opinion, they try to get the outcomes.
He's like, so there's just nothing we can do. What are we going to do? My hands are tied.
They want. I mean, this thing is a very good example of this, that there have been people within the Israeli government who are trying.
Yeah, everyone, you always said making everyone hate Israel was part of the larger national security agenda, right? Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's just what their little prophecy is that all Jewish people need to be in Israel, which means there's going to be deportations, and then they're going to be punished by the Armageddon or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's what Ian Carroll, that's what a lot of these people are doing, is a turn toward, making it, we fucking hate all Jewish people, we got to send them to Israel. That's coming.
Trying to actually shift us away from that policy because they want to continue the military campaign. And by the way, there are people within their government that I love, I have good relationships with, but I guess what I would say to the Americans who sort of see this and are frustrated by it, my attitude would be, you should be frustrated at American leaders who are, persuaded by this, affected by this. Countries are going to do what countries do. I really don't. It doesn't bother me that Qatar tries to influence the United States of America, and they do.
Dude.
I like
listen to this cuck. He's like, guys, my hands are tied. What am I going to do? I can't do anything.
The Qataris is just like I like a lot of the Israelis. It doesn't bother me that Israel tries to do this. It frankly doesn't even bother me that Russia or some of these other countries do it. It's just the nature of being a political leader in 2026.
And whenever it seems like he's breaking with Trump, then he has to go back to defending his decisions. You could tell he definitely wants to separate himself from this stuff, but obviously he's the vice president, so he can't.
Yeah, that's also why everyone's breaking off from Israel too, like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, all these cucks, right? All of a sudden now they don't like Israel.
But he's trying to set things up so in 2028 he can convince people he was always against the war, and he'll probably blame Israel for it. But right now he still has to back Trump and can't go too hard on Israel. So he's in a really tough position, and Rogan's questions here are making it difficult for him to blame Israel when he runs in 2028, because Rogan gets him to say that going to war with Iran was totally Trump's decision. Israel didn't influence him to do it at all.
You think that Israel is affecting American political judgment?
I mean, I certainly think that there are a lot of talking points and there are a lot of arguments that make their way into American political discourse. Do I think that it's been dispositive on any particular issue? I think that's a much more difficult question.
Do you think that we would have started this war in Iran without the influence of Israel?
I think the president, completely separate from any influence from Israel, believes very strongly, and again, I agree with this, that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
Right,
and
but
I think he was willing to do things.
Bombed them in June. Right, that was the initial attack, right?
June of last year.
Yeah.
Midnight Hammer, yeah.
Right. Do you think he would have continued with the most recent campaign if it wasn't for the influence of Israel?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do, yeah. Look,
Why
I think...
So this discussion about the Iran war went pretty badly for him. And then right after this, they get into the Epstein files, which of course goes even worse. JD brings up how people think Trump was blackmailed by Israel to go to war with Iran, which he says is completely ridiculous, but also he believes the Epstein file conspiracy theories and alludes to Epstein working for Mossad and there being a blackmail operation. So again, like with the Iran war, he has to walk this tightrope where he appeases the anti-Israel
dispositorial
conspiratorial crowd, but also he has to act like Trump's administration isn't affected by Israeli influence at all, and he doesn't understand why people would believe that. It's also hilarious because he's an Epstein conspiracy theorist, but he helped cover up the files, and he knows...
dude, you wouldn't be doing spycraft and manipulating people if it didn't fucking work, right? He's like, no, Trump's definitely not influenced by Israel, but also Israel's spying and manipulating politicians. Makes sense.
A ton of people in there, which of course now he claims they just screwed up the release. Like they have nothing to hide. They wanted to put him out, but Pam Bondi just botched the release. So I think Pam Bondi is like the sacrificial lamb. JD blames her for it. MAGA absolutely hated her, and she got fired.
Pam Bondi's sacrificial gams, am I right?
So I think they're trying to pin it on her now.
What I think a lot of people, I've heard this argument, is this idea that Donald Trump, was sort of, I've even heard people say he was blackmailed into this.
Yeah.
By
He goes, I heard tell.
I think that.
That's not true, dude.
No?
It's just not true. I've seen the decision making.
He said, it's not true, dude. JD Vance says, dude.
Up close again, whether you agree or disagree with our negotiation, or whether you agree or disagree with the decision to launch the campaign Epic Fury to begin with, the idea that
Epstein
Donald Trump
Fury.
is being like blackmailed is crazy to me. Because again, I see the way that he makes decisions. I see the way that he processes this stuff. Like the idea that he picks up the phone with anybody and says, hey, like I'm going to take orders from you. No, that's just not how Donald Trump operates.
Can you understand, though, why people would come to that conclusion, especially because of the Epstein files?
What do you mean?
Well, the Epstein files were supposed to be released, and there was a tremendous amount of resistance to those files being released, and that concerned a lot of people. Because if you're talking about very wealthy, powerful people that were engaged in crimes,
I see. So you're basically saying like the fear is that whatever's in the Epstein files was used to blackmail like the administration into doing the Iran thing.
Yes, that's what blackmail is, JD Vance. Peter Thiel's butt boy. Yes.
or at the very least, the people that were involved in the Epstein files that didn't want them coming out had undue influence?
Well, again, like, say this with all candor, like, we absolutely screwed up the comms of the Epstein files, like we just did. But do I think the reason we screwed up the comms is because we were trying to hide something? No. I think the reason we screwed up the comms of the Epstein...
It says, do I think that's why we were doing it? No.
Files is one, you know, Pam Bondi said, the client list is on my desk. Let me try to...
Well, what was the
defend.
purpose of that performative display of the Epstein files? And she was saying there's...
I love when Joe Rogan like fakes being a hard ass journalist for 20 minutes per interview.
Tens of thousands of hours of film.
I think Pam was trying to respond to the political moment. I think she overstated what we had and what we didn't have. And I think that she...
Bro, there's a quadrillion files. What are you talking about?
You know, got roasted for it publicly by a lot of people, including me. Like, you know...
When he says comms, he's talking... He thinks that that the problem with the Epstein files is that their communication about it wasn't that great. Meaning, like, they didn't release them all at one time. That the redactions were bad. And he's like... Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Our comms on it were bad. We released all these super redacted files, and you know the worst. Once you put the black line over the text, you can't undo it. So it's too bad that we fucked it all up. I wish we could do something about it, but there's just nothing. He says, my hands are tied behind my back so that Peter Thiel can blood boy me and suck me.
You and I have talked about this a lot. I'm like one of the OG Epstein conspiracy theorists. I've probably gone down every single rabbit hole we could go down, most of them today.
So he tries to explain to us
Zero curiosity about it, though.
How the Trump administration had nothing to hide with the Epstein files, and we can trust him because he claims to be an expert on Epstein conspiracy theories. You know, that's how he gives himself credibility, which, I mean, I guess he did try to cover him up. He has access to all the files, and he knows a ton of people who were close to Epstein, who he works with every day. So he should know a lot about him, but of course, what the hell is he going to tell us? Him and Rogan are in way too deep, and they're just being used to do damage control over it. So it's hilarious because they try to talk about this like they're just two random guys on the internet discussing it. You know, like they aren't associated with a ton of people in the files.
Yeah.
Like on one hand,
literally
they admit
all their best friends, bro.
Epstein ran a child sex trafficking ring for the elites, and there's definitely more to the story than we know. But yet they know a bunch of those elites, and they just ignore or defend their connections to Epstein. Like JD claims he's gone down every rabbit hole. So I wonder what he thinks of Howard Lutnick going to the island and lying about it, and Trump keeping him around as Secretary of Commerce, or what he thinks of the letter that Trump wrote to Epstein, that bizarre birthday letter.
Like, dude, this is one of the craziest things still. Do you think Trump had someone type this up for him? Was he like, make me a sexy poem that has kind of like an hourglass shape for my boyfriend, Jeffrey? No, I feel like he had to make this, right?
Or Peter Thiel's connection to Epstein. Like, of course, Rogan would never ask any of those questions. Also, JD used to say stuff like, remember when we learned our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child trafficking ring? Then the guy died mysteriously in jail, and now we just don't talk about it. But it's like, dude, you're connected to those powerful people. So he kind of set himself up here. Like, if him and the people around Trump and MAGA didn't hype up the Epstein file theories, it honestly probably wouldn't have been a problem for them, because the left didn't really care about it until they realized it was a problem for Trump. So MAGA shot themselves in the foot by making this a big deal. And JD still talks about it being a blackmail operation and there being more to the story. But, you know, he's just the vice president, so he doesn't actually know anything. You know, he acts like, I love looking into this stuff, but I don't know anything you guys don't. I mean, sometimes he talks like he's just some guy on the internet doing research about Epstein, and he's not the vice president of the United States.
The problem is, if you go back to the original investigation, it was designed in a way that was way too narrow. If there was a broader conspiracy.
Bro, this guy, the place that I was staying at this weekend was like this cool little river house that was like 30 minutes away from the venue. And this guy and this older guy and his wife they were like staying in the room above me. And we were both going out to our cars at the same time to go to the show. And also when we were leaving this morning, they were super sweet. But as I was leaving, he was like, he's like a super tailgater. He was like, wait. I was like pulling away. He's like, hold on, take these. And he runs over and gives me like 8 bags of ketchup Lay's potato chips. And I was like, he was like, have you ever had these? He's like, you probably don't have these in your parts. I don't know where, I forget where he said he was, but he was like, he's like, no one ever has these and everyone needs them. Dude, they are fucking awesome. Y'all ever had the ketchup chips? They're fucking sick. But yeah, it was funny. Did you hear that? Dude, I'm so fucking sore. So on Friday night, the show was epic, and they had Jake Simpson, the violinist, come out and play all the violin parts that everyone's always whining about that they miss. So the whole place was going crazy. So I was like dancing like nuts all night. Then I woke up in the morning, and it was kind of dreary out, but I was like, I want to do something, and fuck the rain. So, and I had my bike in the back of the rental car, because I had to go pick it up at the airport, and I knew when I was coming home, I don't want to like bring my bag to my house and then go back to the fucking airport. So I was like, I'm just gonna drop it. But so I had my bike up there, and I saw that there's like a whole Erie Canal bike trail, and I rode like, well, I thought it was like 5 miles, and it started pouring when I was out there. And by the time I got to where I stopped, I was 10 miles out, and it was like torrential downpours, dude. So I did like 20 miles of biking, and then right at the very end, my tire went flat, which was awesome. I mean, truly, like, if that would have happened when I was out all the way, I would have lost it. But I saw a fucking castle, and then got my bike back in the car, and then I went to a bike shop, and they fixed it for me, and I got a new tire. And then went to the show last night. Dude, last night was the craziest show ever. Everyone in my section was losing their minds. We were all having so much fun, all dancing. It was great. But and then this morning I've been passing this mountain, Bear Mountain, in it's like an hour upstate from the city. I've been passing it for like 10 years when I used to like go upstate all the time to film this TV show, and I'd always pass it and be like, damn, that thing looks cool as hell. But so I finally went and climbed it this morning. Bro, it was crazy. It was like straight vertical for most of it. It was brutal, but it was so fun. It was like 2 hours. I think it was like 5 miles. And I was like, I'm not carrying anything. I just want to go and beast it and get through it quick. Because I wanted to get the car in early because I knew that fucking World Cup was happening today. Because I think that's in Jersey. But, then got home and then had to ride my fucking bike back from the goddamn airport. So I am so fucking sore and tired today. I love biking in the summer. We ride everywhere here too. Yeah, dude, it's the best. I love it. Although today I had my stupid ass backpack with all my shit from the weekend. And so it was like kind of heavy, and then I swear to God, every single turn that I took, the wind was against me. It's like, how is this possible? There's nowhere I can go where the wind is helping me. But yeah, rock climbing's sick. This was like super scrambly, like big old rocks. Dude, some of these trails I'm like, some of these are irresponsible. But no, it's super fun. You just got to be careful. Yeah, it was a weekend marathon. But yeah, so every fucking muscle on me right now is super sore. I haven't been this exhausted in a minute.
My view is that there probably was. The evidence that existed in 2007, that was the opportunity to get
So
it.
when you say there probably was a broader conspiracy, what exactly are you saying?
I think there are a few different options. I mean, look, man, I like you and I could literally do 2 episodes about this. I've gone on down to every rabbit hole. There's this funny New York Times story that's somewhat true, somewhat false, but where Susie Wiles, the White House chief of staff, says, well, we know JD's a conspiracy theorist on this. Like I am, actually. I've gone down every rabbit hole here. Look, so there's the theory that whether it was American intel or foreign intel that Epstein was sort of using.
Yeah, dude, it really was a great weekend. I spent the whole entire weekend outside. It was awesome. And then when I got home late at night, I just watched some Summer House and fell asleep in my cute little river house cabin. It was so nice.
Epstein was using sort of the sex ring to blackmail rich and powerful people.
It was clear that he was trying to get people to get together on the island and meet at parties.
Yeah, biking in summer in Arizona would be crazy.
So there was something he was doing where he was trying to either influence people or compromise people.
Correct.
So it's not, there's some sort of an operation that was going on.
There is a story there, and
he says, no, man, all these spy agencies are doing blackmail and, we're manipulating votes and doing all this shit and spending all this money, and it doesn't work. We just keep trying and it never works. Look at this face of JD. Harumph.
I will go to my deathbed believing there's a story there, but I can't prove it. And I promise.
Why? You have all the evidence, you fucking fat cow. You slime ball.
See, there's not some document that at least I'm hiding that allows us to prove exactly what was going on.
So it's just frustrating listening to these two talk about this and act like, yeah, we're into these conspiracy theories. We're really trying to get to the bottom of things here. It's like, why don't you ask Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, or Howard Lutnick? Like, JD knows people that have been to the island. So what does he think of Howard Lutnick? Is he a pedophile? Is he being blackmailed? But of course, Rogan and JD don't actually care about any of this, and they're basically part of the Epstein machine. Like, Epstein and Peter Thiel were pretty close, and in business.
Yeah, LC, the SPAC shows were amazing. Although, dude, the first night, this was the weirdest thing. So there was these two guys last year that I saw that were like up and in front of me, and they were like losing it. And this year was like the first time I'm like really getting dancy with it, and I don't care anymore. But this guy last year I forget what song it was, but it was like one of the Ragers came on and he just ripped his top and popped it, and I was like, bro, that guy's energy is the best. And then this year we ended up sitting next to each other just by chance, and we became buddies. And so next year I'm like, dude, I'm gonna see you guys here next year. But the first night was so fucking weird, dude. The three of us were like convinced that these two guys, there were these two brothers that were like back behind us to the right, like 20, 30 feet behind us. And they were surrounded by like families, and they were pretty drunk, but like it didn't seem drunk enough to like do this. Bro, the whole time, like the first night show, they played Big-Eyed Fish into Bartender, which is like a special treat that literally never happens, and they did it with Jake Simpson, with the violinist. These motherfuckers for an hour were yelling, "You fucking suck! Ha 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 ha! Play something good! You fucking suck!" During, like, I don't know, but I was convinced these guys are either ops, and they were just trying to ruin everyone's night, or I think they just wanted to fight people because they need it was a fish tender. They need, their daddy didn't love them enough, and they need attention. I don't know what the fuck it was. But the first night was like, the energy was weird. I left and I was like, everyone needs to come with better energy tomorrow. And then Saturday was lit. It was crazy. There was no haters, no ops at all on Saturday. Well, dude, you know what's funny is I've always heard the DMB fans having a bad rap. This was the first time I've experienced it. And this was like bad. This was like the most frat energy ever. And it makes no sense. I don't understand the frat shit. Like, I mean, being like a frat asshole who's like looking for a fight. Be a fun frat guy. I don't get it. It's not like Dave Matthews is really singing about frat shit. I don't get it. But yeah, that stuff pisses me the fuck off. There's little kids around him. Anyway. In your 40 shows, you've experienced some horrible vibes? Dude, that's a shame. It makes no sense to me. Literally every other show I've gone to is awesome. Saturday was my 10th show, and then Tuesdays will be my 11th, and that's the last for this year. Maybe. You never know. Yeah, Sherlock, I was feeling that, bro. Sherlock said, I think they go sometimes to hijack the frequency. I think that they, like, the three of us were having a lot of fun. And, dude, you know what? You know how, like, if like you start dancing and having a good time, people around you are much more likely to also do the same, right? So it was like me and these two guys having the most fun ever, and then everyone around us was starting to have fun, and then these guys started screaming and being annoying, and it felt like, dude, they were yelling toward us. Like, it felt like they were being ops. But I wasn't going to give them any of that fucking energy. Oh, many of the people who go to DMB over and over. Don't go to enjoy it for the experience. They go to be seen. That's true, dude, because I mean, there's some people that it's like not cool with. There's some people that it's really nice. Like, so many people come and they make like trinkets and stuff that they want to pass out, but it's always kind of to like advertise their business or something. It's not always like that, but there's definitely people like that. But yeah, I don't know. I like, dude, the reason I go is to like feel the fucking all the energy of all the people. It's so awesome. And dude, it's like it's like interactive. You sing and scream and dance along with it, sing along at the top of your lungs, lose your mind. Dude, the last note on Saturday, I almost passed out. I was like ready. I was just trying to give it everything and just have the most fun ever. It was so sick, dude. Dave changed the way you get into the front row because of the spinners. What are the spinners? DMB has their own spinners. Were they old guys? I mean, they were like probably 40 something. Like, definitely not young to like be like, oh, they're just drunk boys. Dude, it's literally though, imagine being the feds assigned to the DMB concert and you get the call that you have to kill the vibes. Looking at these guys, they look like feds. I'm serious. I'm trying not to be so paranoid all the time, but I was like, dude, these guys are here to ruin all of our nights. Like, that's literally it, because they wouldn't stop. No one was giving them anything, No one was like, ha ha ha. Like, literally the first time it was funny because we thought that they were saying it ironically, like yelling, "You fucking suck" during the song that literally everyone has been waiting like weeks to hear with the violinist. Like, that's kind of funny because, but then they just kept doing it. And you're like, who's this for? Is this just for you, buddy? You need someone to come push you or something? Is that how your daddy showed you love? Is that how you feel wanted? Pussies. But yeah, anyway. Spinners were coined by deadheads. It's the people in the front rows of every goddamn concert. Yeah, and dude, the people that are always in like the pit and the front row and like, they're boring people, dude. They're honestly, you know who they remind me of a little bit? Disney adults. Like the people who go to fucking Disney and like vlog it and like try every item of food and blah blah blah, Because it's like most of the people are just there recording video. Like, I don't know. That would fucking kill me. What they should do is one show, they should be like, everyone who has lawn tickets, they should swap them. Put the lawn ticket people in the pit and in the stadium, and then put all the fucking rich people who can afford the pit and put them in the fucking lawn. That'll be the greatest show of all time. Yeah, it's the people in the front row are boring because they're fucking rich. Exactly. Because to get to the front row, you literally have to pay for, like, they have a fast pass thing at, like, it is literally Disney at this point. They have a fast pass thing to get into the show early. You, like, get in a half hour early or some bullshit. But you got to pay for it.
Together, and Epstein encouraged Thiel's journey into politics, which J.D. Vance is a product of Thiel. So I don't think there's any chance he can separate himself from Thiel and Epstein. I mean, just look at the comments for this episode. But he's trying to give himself credibility by saying he's a conspiracy theorist and he knows there's more to the story, and he thinks Epstein was part
I might go for a bike ride later with the shiesty on.
of Israeli intelligence. That's like throwing a bone to the conspiracy theory crowd.
Well, most people think he was Mossad.
Yeah, Mossad or CIA or some other deep state, whether in America or Israel or another country.
Both.
Or both. You know, look, he clearly had connections to the highest levels of American intelligence.
Dave does it. Yeah, I mean the lottery is cool, but I haven't gotten any lottery yet for like Pitt or anything. The show on Tuesday is going to be the closest I've ever been. I got a really good seat for that because I got it through the warehouse like lottery thing. But he said he did that because he does a lottery for the first 100 seats for a few years now. He said he did it because he's tired of seeing the same people in the front rows of every single show. Yeah, probably give him the same dead-eyed fucking dummy stare.
He clearly had connections to the highest levels of Israeli intelligence. In fact, and the Epstein thing is interesting because as much as I know, you know, Prime Minister Netanyahu, not a particularly popular person in the United States of America right now, Epstein seemed to be connected.
Joe Winks on a 35-stream streak. What up, boys? That's what's
to
up.
the elements of the Israeli.
Oh, and the Pandaz said ketchup chips are the fucking best. I literally buy like a whole bag full to take with me when I go to Canada. Dude, fuck yeah. I'm a convert. I love the ketchup chips.
Deep state that were left of center. Like I've always found that fascinating. It wasn't like he was super connected to the right of center of Israeli politics.
And I wonder why he'd make that distinction. You know, probably so he could admit Epstein was involved with Israel, but not Netanyahu and the Likud party. And so people don't think Trump is being blackmailed by them. Also during this.
Oh, and dude, we realized yesterday, there was like we were all trying to remember everyone's name. So I was like, let's make a song out of it or a little chant. So we kept making chains of name chants so that we remember everyone's name. I implore everyone to do it. So one of mine was Corey Catherine Ella, and then Corey Sean Cody, and then Corey Sabrina Dan. I'm never gonna forget any of them. Usually, you know, when someone tells you your name, I'm always like, because I know I always forget it. So usually I'll look at them and in my head I'll be like Dan, and then 12 seconds later I go, fuck, what was his name? Literally, I think when you meet someone, it's totally cool to be like, hey, let's just make a song about our names real quick, and then we won't forget it. Corey and Dan. You know, make a little chant.
Rogan mentioned how one of his former guests tried to get him to meet with Epstein, but he turned it down. And
dude, a dabble, do you? That's one thing where I feel short people's pain so much at shows. I mean, sometimes I'll get stuck behind some fucking 6'5" gargantuan monster Godzilla, but most of the time I'm usually just seeing how short some people are and being like, oh my god, they can't see anything. Honestly, y'all should have like a little fold out box that you stand on at a show. A little flat pack box that just, and you got like 8 inches of vertical.
JD's like, yeah, didn't he already get in trouble at that point? And Rogan's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But of course, their boss, Peter Thiel, was meeting with Epstein after his first arrest.
Their dad, Peter Thiel.
So they act like, I can't believe people would want to meet with him. But JD is vice president because of someone who is meeting with Epstein. Well, he's
if you just get some DeSantis riser boots, you'll be good.
Sex offender.
I had one of my guests try to get me to meet him.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
2017.
See, that's crazy to me, because at that point he'd already gone down for at least one like sex abuse thing.
That was my position. I'll show you the emails.
Okay.
They're kind of funny.
Which
I
guest?
actually read them on stage.
You want to say? Okay, fine.
People can find it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the guy's already ruined.
Sure. But dude, it's
who's he talking about?
Googled it, and I'm like, what?
I'm 4'11". I stand on the seat, dude. Fuck yeah. If you can, dude, even stand on the arms of the seat. Fuck them, right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
All of the really crazy shit happened from the 90s to 2007. That's when he was at the peak of his power. That's when he hadn't yet gone down on a sex abuse scandal. Like, it's your point, right? Even if you have some scumbags who are willing to introduce him to Joe Rogan in 2017, there are a lot of Joe Rogans, or at least some, who are going to say, wait a second, I'm going to Google this guy and find out that he's a predator.
A lot didn't.
And
that was really crazy.
A lot didn't, but some did. And my point is that would limit his influence. But if you go back to like the 1990s, the early 2000s, that is the stuff. I think that is like the black hole of the Epstein saga. We don't have nearly enough from that era.
And it probably doesn't help that JD's saying that because, I mean, that's when Donald Trump was good friends with Epstein and they're partying together. And I think he wrote him that really bizarre letter in 2002, I believe. But it is probably true that
we're an enigma. Look, my signature looks like a little bush.
That's when Epstein was at his
Not
peak.
George
And I'm
Bush.
sure getting away with some really dark shit, which I doubt there's evidence of anymore. I don't know why they keep that around, or if it is around, I'm sure.
Who is this? I gotta know who this lady is. Becca probably knows.
Not many people have access to it. You know, I can't imagine the government just has that sitting around available for people to stumble upon. You know, at this point, it has to have been destroyed or hidden or only available to some really high-level people like the Rothschilds. So I think JD is probably right about the pre-2007 stuff, but obviously I don't believe that Trump's administration had nothing to hide. I mean, we know for a fact Howard Lutnick had something to hide. You know, he said he got creeped out by Epstein.
He means Howard Nutlick.
And wanted nothing to do with him, and he never went to the island. And then the files exposed he was at the island. So Trump's administration definitely had something to hide, and they clearly didn't want those files out. Like, Trump kept calling it a hoax.
It's nuts that JD's talking about Epstein like this. What do you mean? Like out in the open, or that he's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is how the false opposition works, though. Like, right? JD Vance is doing his role perfectly. He's going, yeah, I've looked at every file. This shit is crazy. There's nothing we can do, but I do believe that there's a grander conspiracy. We just don't have enough evidence. We only have 3 trillion files. If we had 4 trillion, we might be able to do something about it. I mean, what do you expect from us? We only have explicit emails of people like Bill Gates saying, please bring this child over for me to devour at 6 p.m. at my ranch house. And then also I'm going to come and molest a bunch of girls at your island for a week. They're like, I mean, it's written down, but like anyone could have used Bill Gates' email and sent it to Jeffrey Epstein. They could have had a correspondence back and forth. And then, you know, someone booked Bill Gates' travel. He didn't even know what was happening. They brought him there, and then they made him do it. So it really wasn't his fault. But, guys, if we had another trillion files, we might be able to do something. But until then...
really annoyed by it. They tried doing that whole bond...
Oh, out in the open because it's an active investigation. That's what I mean, though. What is he actually saying? Nothing. Nothing of substance. He's talking about the fucking reflecting pool at this point. Being the cooling center for the fucking Bale underground data center. They just want us to spin our fucking wheels. But yeah, I mean, it is very interesting, right? 2 years ago, they wouldn't be caught dead talking about this stuff. And honestly, now, and like you couldn't even talk about it on social media. Now I feel like for the most part, they let you talk, or not me in particular, but they let other people talk about this shit all the time now. Like, we're so inundated with conspiracy shit, right? And I think it's because they're just flooding the field so that we don't know what's up and what's down. And JD Vance is helping that by not steering the direction. He's the vice president. He couldn't find a lead, right? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, his job's to obfuscate. Does that mean to distract or whatever?
You're stunned. The DOJ concluded the investigation, and Trump turned on some of his biggest supporters like Marjorie Taylor Greene because she wanted it out. So JD's trying to rewrite history here because this is how he'll try to spin it when he runs in 2028. He'll say they actually had nothing to hide.
Yeah, Obfuscate means to deliberately make something unclear, confusing, or harder to understand. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Fucking idiot.
They just screwed up the release because of Pam Bondi.
Yeah, right, Parker? It does feel like we're getting flooded with conspiracy stuff. But truly, I'm not allowed to talk about any of it. Literally everyone else can. Look at my fucking TikTok, bro. Look at this shit. Every time I try and fucking post on this bitch, I'm like, even the shit I'm posting is like so tame. And look, out of like the last 8 videos, 5 of them are fucking community guidelines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. This one was the one where I was like, yo, why won't... It's so funny that they chemtrail us all fucking day, but when there's a forest fire and they could use rain to fucking stop that. Oh, no planes to be found. They deleted that. Curious. Very curious. But everyone else can say whatever the fuck they want. What is it? Just because we make too much sense over here? I think that's our problem, right? Did you guys see Ty got a fucking visit from the FBI too?
Writers told me to shut up yesterday with the FBI and the Secret Service. They came to my door twice and they blew
Look
up.
at this. This is a color printout of one of Ty's videos with the comments and an FBI a little FBI agent.
My phone and then my wife's phone, and then I came outside and I said, you guys are dying, right? We're all dying of smoke. Why are you out here breathing in this fine particulate matter? It's metals, right? Coming from cars and houses. And they're not going to be honest with you about what's happening, but we're dying in fast forward right now. They're planting invasive species. They won't stop, and they're going to keep burning until they burn us off the world. But my only point is that, like, quite literally, they have my dumbass face printed in a binder, and we're going over my comments like it's 6th grade, and they're just dying. They don't even have masks on. They've just been out there. They're out there all day, every day, going over this dumbass shit while the world is fucking burning, right? And so I'm sitting there laughing the entire time. And I need to know if I can post this fucking video. I thought they hated them less than they hated us, but they're wasting their time in way worse ways. And everyone wakes up from fascism at once. The smoke storm at the same time as the smoke and mirrors episode. It's amazing, right? Because they are going to dismantle the ICC, and then they're going to blow up a children's hospital the next day. And then the next day they send 2 agents to my house to talk about literal nonsense while they're killing these agents while they're just outside. And so America is just the illusion, right, of nationalism. It's just flyovers till the morale improves, or elite
flyovers till the morale improves. Ty's so funny, dude.
build data centers that taxpayers pay for, or the incoherent ramblings of the most famous rapist of all time that I can't even say his name out loud anymore because I'm on like lists. But he last night is blaming China for stealing the election in 2020. You think they're going to talk to him about that? No, they're just going to come back here and talk to me. We're going to have more fun with him, but we don't have...
He puts on his FBI uniform.
This one.
Writers told me to shut up his name out loud anymore because I'm on like lists. But he last night is blaming China for stealing the election in 2020. You think they're going to talk to him about that? No, they're just going to come back here and talk to me. We're going to have more fun with them, but we don't have drinkable water. We don't have breathable air, right? And they're going after people like me, and they left everyone on the Epstein list alone. It's fine if you sex traffic minors. It's fine if you rape kids, right? But if you say anything about it, and that's when this stopped being fun, right? So if anyone knows any lawyers that I can send the video to, because I don't want to put my family in danger, we already get too many traffic stops in Ohio. We're already fucked. So have a good day. I love you. And this isn't stopping anything. We're jumping on the back of these fat fascist necks. Writers told me to shut up yesterday with the FBI and the Secret Service. They came to my door twice, and they blew up my phone and then my wife's phone, and then I came...
Hey, Ty. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, it's me, Paul Weisopel. Yeah, I'm your local area FBI agent handler. See? Badge right here. My numbers are 42069. Hold on, let me put my earpiece in real quick. Yeah, so we got a couple reports that you were posting. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all love each other and care about each other instead of exploiting each other and abusing each other? Now, this is actually terroristic material. This is leftist terror. What do you have to say about this? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Ty? I finally remembered my FBI outfit, guys. Agent Dad. Hey, it's me, Special Agent Father.
This post, I don't know.
How Trump died. Can I get this for the community record?
I do not want to be.
Okay.
Dude, honestly, it doesn't matter what they want. You could always film these cucks.
Okay.
Stop talking.
That is literally so funny.
The big misunderstanding that was they got the wrong guy, and so basically we got him. And I just pair politics with movies. I don't know what's going on. So I told him, you know,
We have to have a conversation, go over
Yeah.
how far the First Amendment actually goes and all that stuff, and just make sure that we're all good and.
Yeah, seeing how far
She's coming to tell him how the First Amendment goes?
the First Amendment goes.
Watch what we say, you know, so that we don't step over that line. Because right now
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, you FBI broad, dude. Dude, the FBI can literally suck taint. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell us what to say, you stupid fuck. Literally, go back to fucking Utah. No offense, H and Che. Go back to fucking trash Utah where you are. Not where H and Che is. That's not trash Utah. Just the Mormon parts. Go back to fucking Brigham Young University. Go become a trad wife. Go get fucking, go to the FLDS and go blow up another fucking Challenger plane. Or rocket, you fucking idiot. You stupid FBI agent. Hey, is that covered by my First Amendment right? Can I say that? Can I say, I hope you fucking sit and spin on this, you fucking idiot. Leave Ty the fuck alone.
Okay.
Is that something that you could just like?
Is there anything
I'm not
I
trying
said?
to be like that, but can we just hear what
In
you
particular?
Okay. Because I know, and I'm so
And we
sorry
don't have to
be
whisper
like
or
this. It's
anything.
just because I.
Yeah, why are we whispering?
No.
I'm working right now, so I just want to like, and I'm obviously not going to leave him outside, but I just want to.
I didn't go through all the posts.
Is that Ty's wife? That's awesome. She goes, I'm working right now, and I'm obviously not going to leave him outside alone with you fucking mongrels. You fucking marmots. You fucking vermin. Yeah, limping lady, get your FBI hat right now. Hey, this is Special Agent FBI Corey Weisopel. Yeah. Ty, we got a couple complaints here from Groiper named Nick Fuentes who said, you're a big gay pussy and you keep whining about dead girls in Iran. Wah, wah, wah. Well, just wanted to let you know, again, that is a terroristic threat. So, your big orange president, not happy about this. We will bring you to Guantanamo if you escalate this. We're just going to explain to you your First Amendment right and make sure you don't cross over that line. Dude, she sounds like a fucking AI, right? She goes, exactly. We're just going to power through and have so much fun together.
I just kind of printed off a couple of them.
Oh, nice.
But at the end of the day, you're under no obligation to talk.
Did she just say, I laughed at a couple of them? Yeah, they're trying to butter Ty up to be like, they think Ty's going to be like, yeah, actually, I have been planning, mass terror event with all of Antifa. We've all been doing that. Yeah. You guys have never heard of Secret Slack? Oh. Yeah, that's why you don't know about the secret plans that we've been doing. Yeah, one of us Antifa agents made Secret Slack, and we're all on it. It's unhackable, and you all will never find it. Yeah, the FBI... I mean, dude, all law enforcement thinks everyone is stupid. Truly, this is what the cops do. They do good cop, bad cop. Duh. I actually like your videos. It's pretty funny. So fuck off and die and get the fuck out of my face. And also, I can say that. I can say, I hope you fucking die. That's how the First Amendment works. It's not a threat. I do hope all FBI agents just wake up one day and then disappear into the ether. You know? They don't, or I hope that they wake up, or they don't wake up one day ever again. All of them. Because they're all rats. Look at them harassing Ty. Go fucking get the pedophiles that the literal FBI has done nothing about, you stupid fucking witch. Sorry.
So don't feel like you're sitting here feeling like...
Well, you did call me 4 times in a row and then come to the house twice.
So it's not me forcing... This is me trying to have a conversation.
Okay.
So,
fuck off.
Record, I wanted to be Jason Bourne for this. It would have been more topical. They would have liked it more, but the cinematography was so dark and terrible. And so this is when they started looking at me crazy, and I was like, all right, let me be a little bit more descriptive.
Again, Trump references how many different times his life is about to be taken, and he does it for political, like, that's his own thing. I only comment on it because I think it's hilarious.
If this ever happens to you, just be yourself, all right? Don't ever stop being yourself. I love you. They're meeting quotas. They don't want to be there. All right, here's the rest.
Let's say that Iran was going to assassinate him, Cuba's going to assassinate him, Venezuela's going to... He said everyone's
like, dude, what they think is going to happen is they're going to come talk to you, get you to be their friend, and then you're going to be like, yeah, actually, I do want to... I'm going to murder the president. That was me doing a quote as what they want, not me, Corey, saying that, because I would never. You guys know that it's illegal to say that I want to murder the president of the United States, right? You cannot say that. I can say it because I was saying you can't say this. But if you just said it, they're like, dude, this is literally why we killed Trevor Moore. You're doing the same bit. Paul, come on the stream and let's do this publicly. Let's do exactly what you did with Ty, but just come on stream and I'll talk to you. It'll be so funny, dude.
assassinate him. So every week I do videos where I joke about that because it's the boy who cried wolf at this point.
Sure.
The FBI is like, actually, this is totally real, guys.
So, can we have the conversation unrecorded or...
I would love to record it if that's fine.
He says, can we have the conversation unrecorded? Fuck you. Yeah, Ty, get him.
I would not want it to be recorded. I would like to...
Then go away. This is how consent works. If you don't want to be filmed on Ty's property, go fucking kill yourself and get the fuck off his porch. Truly. Go eat your gun. Do us a favor.
Okay.
And then you can explain it on your channel or something?
No, he can film and do whatever the fuck he wants. It's his house. You're a fucking nuisance and you don't belong there.
That nature?
Yeah.
Be on it.
Yeah, that's
just
okay.
our own, I mean, like this one, this post. I don't know.
I bet her name's like Tammy or something.
How Trump died. Can I get this for the community record?
I do not want to be.
Okay. Okay.
Stop talking.
That is literally so funny.
Big misunderstanding.
That is literally so funny. Oh man, right? That's crazy. I walk away and come back to the FBI outfit. Yeah, Ty's playing with them. They don't know it. One of them is Israeli and got a job offer from Palantir, but he says he declined it. Wait, who? All my friends went to U of M, and I'm just now realizing the FBI merch is the same colors. Why did he respect the fact they didn't want to be on camera, though? Because Ty's a fucking mensch. Ty's a good boy. I mean, that's fair. What he wants is the recording of what they're saying and stuff. I probably would film their bitch asses. I mean, he did film them for a second. He just covered it later. It's also not really important. If it was Paul, though, I would definitely be filming in his face. I'd be getting every little mole so we can dissect it. Yeah, and you know, Ty's not going to scorched earth. Also, because if he does show them, then they can whine and bitch and complain, just the way that, like, you know, my interventionists all bitched and complained and got my fucking video taken down for what do they call it? Defamation? No, I forget what it was. Yeah, Ty's too good for this world. Yeah, they definitely don't deserve it, but Ty's just the bigger person. That's why he did it, because he's a good guy. He's a good boy. Alright, let's finish this fucking JD Vance video.
We actually should give him credit because they did end up releasing a bunch of...
Dude, yeah, if Paul showed up at my door, the literal first thing I would do is hug him. Second thing, I'm pulling out my phone, I'm taking a selfie with him.
Files.
Right. So, like, when people say, has what you've seen on the inside make you think that that Epstein never blackmailed people or that Epstein never engaged in broader sex trafficking? No, absolutely not. What I have seen, and I've looked at most of the files, is that there just wasn't dispositive evidence. And if that dispositive evidence ever existed, it was probably destroyed after 2006, 2007. Now, like, again, in our defense, yes, was there some bitching and moaning, and was there some back and forth? Yes, but we eventually collected 6 million documents.
Think about it too, right? The FBI, when they go to your house, they always show up two by two, right? Just like the Mormons. Dude, I'm telling you, the entire FBI is Mormon.
As part of the effort, the president, people say the president was forced into releasing the documents. Like, again, the idea that Donald Trump could not have killed that legislation, especially with the United States Senate, is a joke. He absolutely could have killed it. What did he do? He actually said, nope, we're going to release these files. He thought, he was...
Does it look like the files were released?
Annoyed by the story. He was annoyed by the Democrats accusing him of doing things bad. By the way, like, do I think there is any...
He says, I've never done bad. It's literally not possible. If I do it, that means it's good.
I've never seen a single piece of credible evidence that the President of the United States engaged in wrongdoing with minors, ever. So, like, when the president says the hoax, that's what he's talking about, is this democratic idea that he somehow was a pedophile. It's absurd. There's no evidence for it. Now, the Epstein law gets signed. We find 6 million documents. We find out 3 million of them are actually responsive, has something to do with the Epstein estate. We release all of them, with the exception of a few things that are like, the courts have said that we have to redact certain things or we can't release certain files. But, like, we did release all these files. Did it take longer than it should have taken? Yes. But we did release these files. And again, the problem here is not...
Dude, yeah. My favorite daily thing to do is flip off every single cop I see because I went to law school. Pig, I know you can't do shit about it. ACAB. Dude, that's my favorite too. As every time that I roll past a cop, like in the street, I just ride past them and flip them off like right in front of their fucking face. But like cute about it, whimsically. And really fast so that they can't come get me.
Not like anything that's in the files or not in the files. The problem is, if you go back to the original investigation, it was designed in a way that was way too narrow. If there was a broader conspiracy, and my view is that there probably was.
So based on
my favorite time to do it too is when they're using their fucking lights to like blow through red lights and shit. That's all they do, dude. They don't follow any laws, ever.
This podcast, JD's chances for 2028 aren't looking too great. It's going to be really difficult for him to shake this stuff. He'll probably have Tucker Carlson and obviously Rogan on his side, but even Tucker, I don't think he'll be able to get the anti-Israel crowd on board. I don't think they'll trust JD. I mean, Tucker trusts...
Fuck JD Vance.
...to pander to Candace Owens fans, but there's no chance in hell they'll ever support JD. And they're even getting fed up with Tucker.
I've literally seen them use their cop lights to speed to Chipotle.
For a little bit, which I covered over on Patreon if you're interested. I also talked about Theo Vaughn accidentally exposing Tucker's ties to Peter Thiel and Palantir and the CIA. That's a really good video. Also, Alex Jones crashing out over low IQ conspiracy theories. Joe Rogan exposing a Mossad agent. Tim Dillon exposing the UFO psyop. The depravity of Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne. and 200 other exclusive videos that are each over 20 minutes. So if
Damn.
you enjoyed this video and want extra content from me, it's definitely worth checking out. There'll be a link in the description.
Exclusive. All right, sick. Very chill, boys. Here, let's watch some Becca-roni. Was Lindsey Graham assassinated? New World next week. Oh, it's Corbett report. Maybe we'll save this for later. All right, next on the docket here, we got our next target. This is Becca Day. We will destroy her life. If she's on any medication, we will take her off it. We will try and poison her husband against her. We will poison her children against her. We will poison her job against her until she stops talking about the Epstein files. And it's not because we're trying to hide the Epstein files. It's just because we know she could be doing better work, you know? The Epstein files are really a nothing burger. So, we're going to teach Becca the only way we know how, the fucking hard way. We're going to fucking dox her. We're going to destroy her life. We're going to send Operation Olive Branch to fuck her up too. Here we go. All right, boys. Get your notepads. Get ready. Find any weak points that we can use to target this individual. This is Becca Day.
Fell down the absolute craziest rabbit hole last night. And you know that it was a crazy rabbit hole because of like the state of how I look right now. I have been like fully hyper fixated on this specific rabbit hole that I fell into for like 24 hours. I'm coming up for air for a moment to just like share with you guys what I found. There's so much more than what I'm about to share with you right now, but I have to show these photos to you guys because you probably have not seen like these photos of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey's network because these are buried on the internet. So I was working on a deep dive and I was looking for the originating source of one specific photo of Ghislaine Maxwell, and that led me to my favorite kind of rabbit hole, a buried photo archive. And the photo archive that I came across belongs to a renowned British Society photographer named Desmond O'Neill. And while Desmond O'Neill is no longer alive, his work lives on. And I want to bring to your guys' attention, as I still continue to go through this photo archive, some of the photographs and moments in time that Desmond O'Neill successfully captured throughout the 1990s through the early 2000s of Ghislaine Maxwell and other figures within Jeffrey's network. So the first photo that we're going to look at is this photo right here of Ghislaine Maxwell and a woman named Andrea Hissam. And this photo was taken in 1997 at a polo match. So at this point in time, Ghislaine Maxwell was established as a New York City socialite, but she still did spend a lot of time in the United Kingdom with her friends and her family. Also by 1997, Ghislaine Maxwell was already dating Jeffrey, and according to prosecutors in her criminal case, by 1997, she had already been recruiting and procuring young girls for Jeffrey for at least 3 years. Andrea Hissam is married to real estate tycoon Steve Wynn. He's the founder of Wynn Resorts. He's very influential in the Las Vegas casino industry as well as the luxury hotel industry. And in 2018, her husband, Steve Wynn, was accused by multiple former employees of different offenses of SA. It was being alleged that Andrea Hissam, the woman in this photo's husband, Steve Wynn, was forcing his employees to give him fully unclothed massages and forcing them to do various other acts as well. And since those allegations have come out, Andrea Hissam has said nothing and she has stood by her man. The next photo in this photo archive that I found of interest was a photo. There was actually multiple photographs. This is the one I'm showing you guys. This photo is of Anuska DeGiorgio at a party in October of 2004. And as you guys probably know, if you've been over here for a while, Anuska DeGiorgio is an outspoken survivor of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey. For anyone who is not familiar with who Anuska DeGiorgio is, I will give you a very brief summary. Donald Trump, our sitting president, became infatuated with a young woman named Anuska DeGiorgio after meeting her at a Manhattan party. Anuska was freshly 20 years old and trying to find her place in the modeling industry. And seemingly Donald Trump called upon his friend Ghislaine Maxwell to arrange for him and Anuska to spend some time together. And as we know, Anuska was flown from London to Palm Beach, Florida, alongside Ghislaine Maxwell to spend the weekend at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago. After this encounter, Donald Trump would go on to arrange for Anuska to be housed in an apartment owned by Donald Trump in New York City. And while Anuska and Donald Trump never went on to have any kind of a romantic relationship, this weekend at Mar-a-Lago and being placed in a Donald Trump-owned apartment in New York City was the catalyst that put Anuska DeGiorgio in the crosshairs to be victimized by Jeffrey, which is exactly what happened. Okay, now this duo, who is seen repeatedly together in this photo archive, literally had me beside myself. This is absolutely wild. Let me explain why. So these two are were seen multiple times throughout this archive, but this specifically is a 2010 photo of Annabelle Nielsen and Eduardo Teodorani, both figures who we have talked about briefly. Annabelle Nielsen is the ex-wife of Nat Rothschild. She appeared on Bravo's Ladies of London. You might recognize her from there. If you read my articles or watched my videos about rush houring survivor
Nat Rothschild,
Nayla Miller, you will know that one of the men that she was rush houred to was Nat Rothschild. Nat Rothschild is also very closely associated with multiple different figures within Jeffrey's network, including Peter Mandelson. And
dude, my favorite thing about rich people is that they can't get girls without paying for them. That's fucking hilarious, man. Crazy.
The DOJ's files, we know that Annabelle Nielsen was a close friend of Jeffrey and Ghislaine and actively in communication with them and apparently recruiting girls for the pair. In July of 2018, Annabelle Nielsen was found passed away in her home at the young age of 49. And she seemingly passed away from some kind of a stroke or a heart attack. Then there's Eduardo Teodorani. We talked about him in the Borghese family deep dive. He was the infamous recruiter for Jeffrey who always referred to Jeffrey as master in their communications. Eduardo Teodorani is biologically related to the Agnelli
Master, I am here. Ooh.
family, who founded the Fiat automobile brand. And who else do we know that is a descendant of the Agnelli family, enemy of the channel, Paolo Zampoli? Yes.
Enemy of the show, Paolo Zampoli.
Paolo Zampoli and Eduardo Teodorani both closely associated with Jeffrey and Ghislaine and have extensive government ties, are all related. Not only that, Paolo Zampoli and Eduardo Teodorani caught in another lie.
Me.
You guys, I genuinely fell down the She appeared on Bravo's Ladies of London. You might recognize her from there. And actively in communication with them and apparently recruiting to Jeffrey as master in their communications. Eduardo Teodorani is biologically related to the Agnelli family, who founded the Fiat automobile brand. And who else do we know that is a descendant of the Agnelli family, enemy of the channel, Paolo Zampoli? Yes, Paolo Zampoli and Eduardo Teodorani both closely associated with Jeffrey and Ghislaine and have extensive government ties, are all related. Not only that, Paolo Zampoli and Eduardo Teodorani are also related to...
Dude, I'm telling you, they're all related.
Bo Elkin, as well as
They're
John.
also ugly. How else could this make sense? All of these rich people are the ugliest people in the world, and they all look like each other. They're all family. Hideous family. Monstrous faces. Tel Aviv zeros.
John Elkin. John Elkin was just in the Oval Office with Donald.
That's a negative LA and New York 100. That's a negative 100 in New York.
Trump, and Lepo Elkin was a figure who was very closely associated with Jeffrey and just kind of like a disaster of a human being. But Eduardo Teodorani appears multiple different times in this photo archive. And this photo here that was taken in 2009, we see Eduardo Teodorani next to a woman named Francesca Nardi. Per the files, Francesca Nardi was a close friend of both Ghislaine and Jeffrey. And in present day, she is the global communications director for the controversial fashion brand Balenciaga. And then there's this photo from
Yeah, dude, right? Cat Dad, now Paolo is tied to the Tate brothers too. Look. Becca, did you hear Andrew Tate was caught while he was a guest of Paolo Zampoli? Because he just got arrested, right? Dude. Becca's the only journalist in history. We stand by that forever.
2006 of Ghislaine Maxwell and Tamara Mellon, and they are attending an event that was hosted by Elizabeth Saltzman, who we've talked about. That is Glenn Dubin's ex-wife. As we know, Glenn Dubin would go on to marry Jeffries.
It's so incestuous. I mean, look at how hideous these people are, right? Look at Glenn Dubin. You don't think this guy rapes children, if not his own children? Look at him.
Ex-girlfriend of 11 years, Eva Dubin, and Glenn and Eva would basically give Jeffrey full access to their children.
Yeah, they wanted to sell their daughter to Jeffrey.
We know all this. So Ghislaine Maxwell and Tamara Mellon in this photo are at Elizabeth Saltzman, Glenn Dubin's ex-wife's party. Tamara is the co-founder of the luxury footwear brand Jimmy Choo, and she was married to Matthew Mellon of the Mellon banking family. And Matthew Mellon did pass away in 2018 at the age of 54 in Cancun, Mexico, while seeking treatment for addiction. Timothy Mellon. Matthew Mellon's second cousin, is the guy who donated $130 million to the U.S. military whenever Donald Trump decided to shut the government down back in October of 2025. And like, this is not even close to everything. There are so many events and so many images that we still need to go through, but I just want to come up for air for a moment and show you guys what I've found so far and show you how you can find these photos yourself. I'll be back soon with more. You guys, I genuinely...
Fuck yeah, dude. Go, Becca. Go, Becca. Get 'em, Becca. Get these dirty dogs.
Experience featuring J.D. Vance, the vice president.
Dude, they're still making InfoWars? The only good part about this InfoWars show is Nick Lutzko.
Welcome to the real InfoWars. You're doing the InfoWars twist. This is real InfoWars. It goes like this. Welcome to real InfoWars.
Can you identify who and who is not possessed by demons in this realm?
I can tell by looking at their eyes.
I don't know how it's coming to my head. Bobby Flay.
Yes, I would say probably 30%.
Mike Dirnt from Green Day.
I'd say 0.
How about Grimace?
0.
Jimmy Fallon.
90%.
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall. Humpty Dumpty, 0%.
Not a demon in sight.
No.
Rob Zombie.
10%.
Really? Rob Zombie, man who plays in the dark arts himself, not possessed. You don't believe?
No, I think he's kind of like Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper?
70%.
John Paul, George Ringo. How many demons we got in there out of 4?
80%.
All in 80%. So we don't know who's
all
40
in,
and who's 20.
No.
Steve Walsh, singer of Kansas.
Liberals weren't content with just killing God. No, they wanted to kill traditional Christian values too. Children should not be using bathrooms, period.
Ever masturbate myself again.
I don't masturbate anymore. You gotta tell me how you did it. With this, the 4-limb assisted ejaculate extractor. I used to be addicted to porn. I would use my own hand to my all the time, bro. But then I got the 4-limb assisted ejaculate extractor designed to my precise hand and wrist measurements. It's my hand, but it's not my hand. So it doesn't count? It doesn't count. Oh, let's fucking go, dude. And the Bible doesn't even know about this technology, so it's not a sin. No.
This sounds like some Mormon ass shit, bro. Alright, anyway. The final Pope, world ends in 2027. Y'all want to watch some Y-Files? Why not?
This episode of the Y-Files is brought to you by Delete Me. On April 21st, 2025, Pope Francis died. According to one of the most famous prophecies...
What did we say? AJ is he Scientologist? Is that what people were saying? Tim Heidecker, and also this lady, whoever the fuck she is, 100%. Eva Dubin is a doctor that has her name on a building at Mount Sinai Medical Center. They always donate money to have their name on a building to make themselves look good. Yeah, because they be eating children.
Church history, Francis was the final pope. After him, Rome burns and Judgment Day begins. 17 days later, white smoke rose from the Sistine Chapel. Robert Prevost stepped onto the balcony as Leo XIV, the first American pope. Rome was fine. The prophecy failed. But did it? Because buried inside the original Latin, there's a countdown. The list doesn't end with a pope. It ends during a year. That year is 2027.
Doubt it. I wish this was the last year coming up, but it ain't.
Governor. It is I, Gerald. We never met.
What's with the getup?
And a wig cost me 40.
I need to protect my private report showing information. Sign up for
Gerald Bellagio Fat.
Ay caramba.
One late night in Rome in 1139, an
More like the ad files, am I right?
Archbishop knelt in prayer near the tomb of St. Peter. He was a long way from home and his heart was heavy. Malachy traveled from Ireland to Rome to support the new pope after years of chaos. Innocent II spent 8 years fighting a rival for control of the church. It began as an internal political feud, but escalated into a military campaign that drew in most of Europe. Innocent won the war, but it left a scar. He saw firsthand that the papacy could be destroyed, and the entire church.
Yeah, yesterday was DMB's 50th SPAC show.
Church with it. That night, Malachy prayed, not just for the Pope.
I didn't live this long to live this long.
For all popes, for the church itself. Then, God answered. Malachy felt a vibration growing in his body, like electricity, but the energy was coming from him. Then he had a vision.
It's such a good vibration. It's such a sweet sensation.
How'd we get there?
Malachy Mac and a funky punch.
Okay, can you not make heretical jokes during my setup?
Yeah, my jokes are hysterical.
Heretical.
What'd I say?
Malachy saw pope after pope, man after man, century after century. But not names or faces, images. A castle above a river, an eagle with open claws, a sliver of a moon, an image for every pope who would ever live. Malachy made a list of the visions, each a short phrase in Latin. 112 popes, one after another. Then one final vision. A city on 7 hills burning. The end of the world. Judgment Day.
Yeah, or the AI files. The AI ad files.
He gave the manuscript to Pope Innocent II as a comfort. The Pope who almost lost the papacy now had proof that the line of Peter runs unbroken until the end of the world. But a list that ends with the apocalypse isn't a comfort, it's a...
Yeah, Paul, you want me to put beavers and beaver videos in front of them? You don't want them thinking about this stuff? All right, copy. I'll put beaver videos on right after this. I'll show them the beavers eating their own poop right out of their buttholes.
Countdown. Pope Innocent knew how dangerous this was. He locked the manuscript in the Vatican archives and never spoke of it again. Nobody knew it existed. Then,
I know Obamner sucked too, but I do long to go back to the before times. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely... Honestly, I don't. Because to me now, looking back on it, the before times to me were just... It was all still fake. It was just a little shinier. I'm honestly kind of excited that everything's falling apart. Means we're getting close. But yeah, if we just went back to Obamner times, it would just delay it for another 20 years. It's all just aesthetics. Just, oh yeah. Oh, we're not Republicans. We just believe everything that the Republicans do, but we just want to be a little bit nicer about it.
in 1590, somebody found it, hidden for 450.
No, I know exactly what you mean, dude. It was so much. I don't understand why it was like easier to live when I was in college working a college job. Like, it's madness. I yearn for that for sure. Everything should be cheap again. And dude, the fucked up thing is it wasn't even cheap then. It was just not as bad as it is now, and we're like, please let us get back to the previous version of exploitation.
Years. 74 popes came and went during that time. St. Malachy was right about all of them. In September 1590, Pope Urban VII died just 12 days after his election, so the cardinals returned to Rome to choose a new pope. But then a document was found that said the elections never mattered.
files.
4.5 centuries earlier, a saint made a list. Every pope was already predicted. A list was terrifying enough, but what really upset the church was how the list ended. The cardinals needed to know if the list was real, so they turned to Alfonso Chacon. He was the most respected papal historian alive. He literally wrote a book called The Lives of the Popes. If anyone could verify this list, it was him.
The lives of two popes, gravity, y tu mama también. I had no idea how prolific he was.
Chacon, not Quaron.
This is Papa. Yo digo Papa. Let's call the whole thing off.
So Chacon started checking the phrases that Malachy used to identify each pope. Each phrase is called a motto, a few words that capture the man. The first motto is Ex Castro Tiberis, from a castle on the Tiber. The first pope on the list was Celestine II, elected in 1143. He was born in Città di Castello, Castletown, on the banks of the Tiber River. Malachy was right. The second entry says Inimicos expulsus, the enemy driven out. That was Lucius II,
Look at that
a pope at
fucking
war
head.
with Rome's own Senate. They stripped him of the title. When Lucius led an assault to take it back, he was stoned to death. Malachy was right again. Another is Sus in Cribro, a pig in a sieve. That sounds like a hard motto to pin on a priest, but Pope Urban III's family name was Crivelli, and the Italian word for sieve is Crivello, and the Crivelli family crest included a pig.
See, this is my problem with visions. You're God. You're omnipotent. Why symbols? Just send names, dates, a spreadsheet.
Prophecy doesn't really work like a spreadsheet.
That's why it took him 400 years to solve it. 1 tab, 2 columns. Pope, yeah. But no, you gotta give me pig in a sleeve.
Sieve.
Whatever.
He checked 74 entries. Malachy was right 74 times. This was a big deal in 1590. The Reformation was tearing Christianity in half. Protestant preachers called the Pope the Antichrist and said the papacy was living its final days. And here was a 450-year-old prophecy promising 38 more popes to come. Malachy's document was a guarantee of survival. The same list that comforted a pope in 1139 now comforted the whole church. In 1595, Benedictine monk Arnold Vian published the full list so the world could read it. 3 columns, the motto, the pope it matched, and Chacon's notes. But Chacon's notes stop at entry number 74, Urban VII. It was 1590, so Chacon could only solve the popes of the past. The rest of the list predicts the future.
Oh, dear God, this guy had the Catholic Sports Almanac. He could have made a fortune, but he public domained it.
You rooted for Biff, didn't you?
Doc Brown did business with terrorists, was best friends with a teen boy, and created God knows how many dangerous timelines. And Biff is the villain.
When you put it that way.
Justitio pro Biff. Put that in your prophecy and slogan.
And at the very bottom of the list, the future ends. The last entry isn't a motto, it's a full paragraph, and names the final pope, Peter the Roman, the man on the throne when Rome burns. But even though Malachy predicted 74 popes in order, there were still skeptics. So they looked into St. Malachy to see if he made any other predictions that came true. They didn't like what they found. In the 12th century, the Shinna family controlled the office of Archbishop of Armagh, the highest Catholic seat in Ireland, and they ran it like a monarchy. The title passed from father to son, and most of them weren't even priests.
An office you inherit, don't need qualifications for, and can't be fired from. So, Congress.
Armed clans defended the arrangement, and challenging it was a good way to die. Malachy challenged it. He took the office, pushed the family out, and survived. Then he did something nobody ever does after winning a war. He walked away, back to the work he cared about, rebuilding monasteries, reforming the clergy, tying the Irish church closer to Rome.
Tying the Irish closer to the church? That's like trying to find a tighter link between fiery lamb vindaloo and diarrhea. That's like trying to find a tighter link between petty theft and Florida. That's like trying to find a tighter link between cocaine and a business idea. Yeah, bang the 3 for you. Take your pick.
You already know why Malachy went to Rome, and you know what he did there. Here's what happened on the road. On the way south, he stopped at Clairvaux Abbey. Its abbot, Bernard, had so much influence, even popes asked him for advice. Kings read his letters. Crusaders listened when he spoke. Bernard was a monk at a small monastery in France. How does that man get this kind of power? Because Saint Bernard was an early patron and leader of the Knights Templar. a good friend to have. Malachi arrived with no army, no wealth, and no political office, but Bernard treated him like an equal anyway. The men became close friends. Years later, back in Ireland, the monks asked Malachi where he would die. Malachi said Clairvaux. They asked him when he would die. Malachi said All Souls Day, the Day of the Dead. In 1148, Malachi headed back to Rome, but he never made it. By the time he reached Clairvaux, he was burning with fever. He died at Clairvaux on November 2nd, All Souls Day, just as he predicted. He was 54 years old.
Again, back to the spreadsheets. He knew when he was gonna die. The guy got a fever. If I find out he substitute ordered a kindergarten the week before...
You're missing the point.
Guy predicts his shoe is gonna smell in 1140. So he steps on a horsey grump that March and says, see?
Bernard wrote a biography of St. Malachi. He said, call it a wish or call it a prophecy. Either way, Malachi was right. That's the man behind the list. And that's why Rome believed it. When Malachi predicted something, it happened. He became the first Irish saint ever canonized by a pope. But everything Chacon verified was already history. From 1595 forward, the mottos had to predict the future. Again, people were skeptical, especially about the motto that described a bronze eagle dragging a pope away.
Buzzer.
But 200 years later, that's exactly what happened.
Never trust an asshole
That
in a
bronze eagle
in a
belonged to
Dagon hat. Oh, are you talking about the fish hat? Definitely trust an asshole in an FBI hat, though.
Napoleon Bonaparte. And before the eagle was finished, the list would name 2 popes in a row. The first was Pius VI. His motto reads Peregrinos Apostolicos, the apostolic traveler. During the French Revolution, troops stormed Rome and pulled Pius
Yeah. Catholics are just the mafia in white hats and weird robes.
VI off his throne. He died in 1799, a prisoner in the south of France, the apostolic traveler buried far from home. The very next motto reads Aquila Rapax, the rapacious eagle. Rapacious means greedy, aggressive, and never satisfied. But Malachi wasn't describing the new pope, Pius VII. He described...
Dude, I know, right? If the feds were at the door, that would have been so funny. I did do this, though. If it was the feds, though, I would have went, whoa, me too.
coming for him. Napoleon wanted the Pope to crown him emperor as proof of God's will. Pius agreed on one condition. Napoleon and his wife Josephine never had a church wedding, and the Pope refused to crown a couple living in sin. So the day before his coronation, Napoleon got married in secret. Then at the ceremony, he took the crown out of the Pope's hands and placed it on his own head. That wasn't enough for Napoleon.
Baller.
Nothing ever was. He decided the Pope should answer to him. Pius objected, and Napoleon was excommunicated. Napoleon sent soldiers into the papal palace in the middle of the night.
Wait, is that why Napoleon was excommunicated? Is because he took the crown from the Pope?
They arrested the Pope, dragged him out of Rome, and held him prisoner for years. And those soldiers marched under Napoleon's standard, a bronze eagle.
Oh, you mean like the Nazi thing? Guys, what if Napoleon and fucking Rome and the Nazis, what if they were all the same?
The rapacious eagle took the Pope, just as Malachi predicted 670 years earlier. The list continued. Cruxte Cruce, cross from a cross, for Pius IX. When the royal house of Savoy took Rome, it stripped the Pope of his lands. It ended 1,000 years of papal rule over central Italy. The emblem on every Savoy banner was a white cross. Pius IX lost his kingdom to a cross. The next motto was
Roman eagle, fuck birds.
Lumen Caelum, a light in the sky, for Leo XIII. On his family crest was a comet streaking across a blue sky. Then the list turned dark. Religio depopulata, religion laid waste. That was for Benedict XV. He took the throne in September 1914, just after the start of the First World War. Benedict begged Europe for peace, and Europe ignored him. Catholic nations fought other Catholic nations. Churches became hospitals. Priests climbed into the trenches and died in them. By the end of the war, millions of Christians were dead. And the Russian Revolution happened at the same time.
These cute little cats, they miss me, dude. Winky and Squinky keep rubbing on my legs. What'd you guys miss me? You miss your pop. Little wink. My little Winky. It looks like she's on Ozempic. She's so small compared to all the other cats. Squeak just bashed his head into my desk. Like, hard.
Time, the new government seized the churches, shot the priests, and declared war on God himself. Religion laid waste. On a scale nobody in
kill all the priests.
1595 could have imagined. But somehow, Malachi did. When the list was made public, instead of dismissing or denouncing it, the church started to follow it. In the 17th and 18th centuries, popes had their own mottos stamped onto their coronation medals. The prophecy described the popes, and the popes were happy to wear the prophecy.
This all aligns with our historical, the history that we allow you to hear.
And in 1958, one cardinal tried to step into the prophecy.
AJ's doing a good job for us.
Prophecy himself. That year, the next motto was Pastor et Nauta, the shepherd and the sailor.
Pasta at nighttime? I love this one.
Cardinal Francis Spellman of New York read those words and made a plan.
Oh, wait. You, Okay, did you guys see that exhibit from his album cover from like 20 years ago? He still has the same cat. This cat. Look at that look, dude. Slay. But look, Exhibit is a fucking cat dad, bro. He gets it.
Alright, so everybody's going crazy over my fucking cat. I had no idea you guys like cats that much, but Thundercat has been in my life for a long time. She's seen it all. And everybody's asking how I kept her alive for, this long. Well, first of all, I love my cat. I take care of her and I look out. So
look at the way he smiles when he talks about his cat.
She's an older cat. She had a thyroid issue, and there was a treatment that I had to get done and to fix that problem. So she was losing a lot of weight. I got the cat, all together. Hey, where you going? Anyway, she wants nothing to do with it. But here's how I feed her. She likes dry food. I give her this, 11 and up.
She a dry food queen.
And I also give her Royal Canin, 11 and up.
That's that expensive shit.
She likes junk food sometimes, so I give her this when she's on her best behavior. And then I give her some Temptations. So between all of those things, that's how I keep the weight on her, right? And then so once in a while, she will mess with these, but not that much. But because she had kidney issues, we had to give her fluids. So we got a great doctor and nurse.
Dude, he even does intravenous fluids for his kitties.
That comes and they, give her fluids.
Oh, he doesn't do it. He has someone come do it, but that's all right.
To help with her kidney stuff.
At least someone's doing it.
And, it works.
Yeah, I've had a couple cats that have kidney issues where you have to get like every other day, or not every other day. Usually it's like every third, fourth day. You give them fluids like in between their shoulders, and and you give them like 100 cc's of fluids or 80, and it creates this bubble on their like backs that then just kind of absorbs into their body.
But here's the thing. People have loved my cat as much as I have for a long time. So people send me shit all the time associated with my cat. The fact that this is going crazy is beyond me. But this is the kind of shit I get. I got like sweaters with my cat's face all over it. And yes, I've worn this before, but it gets better. People make paintings of my fucking cat.
That's so funny.
They make paintings of this shit. When I say paintings, I mean multiple paintings. Yo, It's no joke. People love Thundercat. I love Thundercat. I'm glad you guys like her as much as I do. All right? So as we speak, here she is.
Oh my God, look at her.
What you got to say to the folks, Thunder?
What an angel. She said, fuck y'all.
All right, so everybody's
going
crazy over my fucking cat. I had no idea you guys like cats.
She said, don't talk about me in public. How cute is that, though, right? All right, Exhibit. That's what's up.
He rented a boat, filled it with sheep, and sailed up and down the Tiber River, a shepherd and a sailor. Spellman used the motto as a campaign slogan.
That is the greatest campaign stunt I've ever.
Oh, your cat had a blockage too? Dude, my cat got that on July 4th one year. It cost like $9,000. And they cut the little tip of his wiener off so his urethra was bigger.
Ever heard? Boat, sheep, river, 0 notes.
It didn't work. The Cardinals passed on it.
Because he peaked too early. You don't do the sheep boat before the conclave. You do the sheep boat.
Jelly Jigga, you just got a cat for the first time this weekend? What kind? Good job. And yeah, that's Federal Agent Cat Dad to you. Put some respect on my name. On my federal name.
Amateur hour. I could have won that election.
Okay.
Human, go fetch me a pointy hat and start calling me your eminence.
Hard pass.
Hard pass, your eminence.
Instead, they elected Angelo Roncalli as Pope John the 23rd. Roncalli...
Yeah, 9,000 just for cutting the tip on 4th of July. I think it was mostly the 4th of July thing. But yeah, I should have just taken him to any doctor in America and said he just needed to be circumcised. They would have done it for free and to suck the tip, you know?
It was the Patriarch of Venice, a city built on water and filled with sailors. As Pope, he called himself a shepherd and urged the church to act like one. The man who chased the prophecy lost. The man who ignored it became the shepherd and the sailor. For Paul VI, Flos Florum, the flower of flowers. His family's crest carried 3 fleur-de-lis, 3 flowers. From the half moon, for Pope John Paul I. Born in Belluno, the beautiful moon, he was elected just as the moon reached its last quarter. His reign lasted 33 days, 1 half moon to the next. Pope after pope, the list kept hitting.
Yeah, dude, no one should have to pay anything for any of their animals, let alone the human health care. Like, it's crazy to me that they just put animals down because people can't afford the treatment. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, these vets need to fucking suck a dick, dude. I don't get it. Turning healthcare into a for-profit business is fucking insane. Truly. And it really pisses me off that more doctors and people don't speak out about it. It's literally insane. Fucking insane, bro.
End of the 20th century, only 2 mottos were left before Peter the Roman. The next motto was De Labore Solis, the labor of the sun. Malachi was right about that one too. On May 18, 1920, a partial solar eclipse crossed the southern hemisphere. That same day, Karol Wojtyła was born in Poland. He became Pope John Paul II. John Paul led the church for more than 26 years. He took a bullet in St. Peter's Square and survived. He outlasted communism in Eastern Europe. He traveled farther than any pope in history. He died on April 2, 2005. His funeral was 6 days later. And on that day, another eclipse, the labor of the sun. The last motto before Peter the Roman is Gloria Olivae, the glory of the olive. In 2005, Joseph Ratzinger was elected and chose the name Benedict. The Benedictines have an order called the Olivetans, their symbol an olive branch. Malachi was right again. The list was down to one final name, Peter the Roman. After him, nothing. But in 2013, Benedict shocked the world by resigning, the first pope to ever step down in 600 years. Suddenly, a storm hit Rome and lightning struck St. Peter's Dome. Twice. The list was taunting them because Benedict officially left office on February 28th, the feast day of St. Romanus. The throne of Peter was empty on the day of the Romans. 12 days later, the cardinals entered the conclave, and the whole world was watching for a Peter. Most people expected Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana to be elected.
I hate vets. They charged me $2,000 for 2 different appointments, and the second one they gave me medicine that basically killed my dog the next day. Fuck those pieces of shit, dude. That's some dog shit.
Instead, they chose a long shot, Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina, the first Jesuit pope, first pope from the Americas.
J.D. Vance killed him.
He chose the name Francis. So Malachi was finally wrong? Well, not so fast. Peter the Roman was right there inside the new pope's name. Francis took his name from St. Francis of Assisi, and the father of St. Francis was called Pietro, Peter. Bergoglio was the son of Italian immigrants, Roman blood on the throne of Rome. The new pope didn't need to find the name found him. And when Francis stepped onto the balcony, he fulfilled the prophecy. Peter the Roman, the last pope, and after him, nothing.
The fuck? It's under the Serpent Church.
The prophecy gives Peter the Roman more than a motto.
Yeah, dude, I want those Vatican archives bad. You want to know where the Library of Alexandria is? Under the Lizard Church.
It tells us what
Snake Church
happens during his reign.
In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations. When these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end.
Good. I welcome it.
The city of 7 hills is Rome. Peter guides the church through one final persecution, then the city falls. Then comes judgment. You'd expect the Catholic Church to have an opinion about a text that predicts its own annihilation. It doesn't. In 400 years, the Vatican has never condemned the prophecy of the popes, never endorsed it, never denounced it, never ruled on it at all. And this is a church with opinions. When the Da Vinci Code came out, the Vatican told Catholics not to read it. A thriller about a fictional bloodline got condemned. A prophecy describing the destruction of Rome and the death of the church got 4 centuries of silence. Silence is also an answer. And Malachi wasn't the only one who saw a pope inside a ruined city. In 1909, Pope Pius X collapsed. He came back with a terrifying vision. A future pope fleeing Rome, climbing over the dead bodies of his own priests to escape the Vatican. 8 years later, the Virgin Mary appeared to 3 shepherd children in a field outside Fatima, Portugal. She showed them hell. She said another world war was coming, and she gave them one final vision, one the world wouldn't learn for decades. The third secret was written down in 1944 and locked inside the Vatican. It stayed sealed until the year 2000. The vision starts with an angel holding a flaming sword. The blade caught fire, ready to burn the world. But the flames died out when they touched the light shining from Mary's hand. Then the angel pointed at the earth and cried out one word 3 times. Penance, penance, penance. Then the children saw the Holy Father.
Look who I have. Squeech, you're kind of a terrible FBI agent. Wave. No! Not like that. Not like that. No, wave to the people. Wave. Okay, bye. He loves it. He loves the attention.
Across the city in ruins,
Feds.
praying for the souls of the corpses he passed. Bishops,
Oh
priests,
yeah, fuck, it's almost 9/11.
and ordinary believers followed him up a mountain toward a large wooden cross.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm a eat my last I got my last portion of frickin' dumplings tonight. Ooh, yeah.
At the top, soldiers opened fire. The Pope fell.
Stop looking at camera and look at Kitty. What do you mean? I was looking at him.
The clergy fell. The soldiers killed the believers behind them. The vision ends with two angels gathering the blood of the martyrs and sprinkling it over the souls making their way to God. 3 different centuries, 3 different visions.
AJ, what
all
are
of them
you
saw the
even
same
talking
thing.
about, bro?
A pope walking through the corpses of his own church while the city falls around him. During the reign of Francis, the prophecies seemed to be coming true. In March 2020, the pandemic closed churches around the world. One rainy day, Francis stood alone in St. Peter's Square, prayed to an empty city. No crowd, no choir. One old man in white, alone in the rain, in a square built to hold hundreds of thousands. It looked like the end of the world. He wasn't exactly climbing over corpses, but there were a lot of people dying from COVID.
Hold on, did you say dying from or dying with?
Let's not do this again.
Fine, fine, we can discuss again in 2 weeks after we flatten the curve.
War came back to Europe. Churches burned in Africa and Asia, and Christians died for attending them. Inside the Vatican, scandal after scandal, and people kept leaving the church. Whatever many tribulations was supposed to mean, Francis was living it. And across town, in the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, the countdown hangs in plain sight. Every pope has a portrait there. A ring of faces circling the church from St. Peter to today, with the current pope's portrait lit by a spotlight. They say that when the wall runs out of room for portraits, the world ends. Under Francis, the spotlight was near the end of the row. Francis led the church through 12 years of tribulation. Then on April 21st, 2025, he died.
Wait, are we not going to talk about J.D. Vance visiting him first?
That should have triggered the apocalypse. But Rome didn't burn. Judgment Day didn't come. Instead, a conclave gathered to choose another pope. Scholars were relieved until they took a closer look at the original prophecy. 400 years ago, the text was published with a misprint. One small error that changed everything. The end of the world prophecy isn't counting down popes at all. It's counting down years. And the clock is still ticking.
What, now it's years?
On May 8th, 2025, white smoke rose over the Vatican. And instead of a doomed pope stepping over bodies, a man from Chicago walked onto the balcony and waved. Cardinal Robert Prevost took the name Leo XIV, the first pope from the United States. But he wasn't called Peter, and Rome was still standing. Prophecy researchers were relieved but also confused. Why were the predictions so accurate except for the last, most important one? The answer was a misprint in the last 2 lines. In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations. But in the original Latin, that sentence is actually 2. In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit. Then comes a period. Peter the Roman begins on the next line. For centuries, everyone read those 2 lines as one sentence. That traces to 1624, when editor Thomas Messingham reprinted the prophecy and merged the 2 paragraphs into one. His version became the standard, and that original break was forgotten. But splitting those 2 sentences means any number of popes can sit during the final persecution before Peter the Roman appears. Leo didn't break the prophecy, he filled the gap. The count can also change. The original list wasn't numbered.
I never noticed the Pope's hat is a yarmulke. Oh yeah, it kind of is.
And it includes several anti-popes. An anti-pope is a rival who challenged the legitimate pope. Remove those, and every later motto moves up 1 place. In 2021, a German historian ran the count again and removed 3 anti-popes. Under his system, Leo XIV isn't the last pope. 2 more come after him. And there's another way to change the count. When Benedict resigned in 2013, Francis was elected. But Benedict stayed in the Vatican as Pope Emeritus for years. Some argue that Benedict's resignation was never valid under church law. If that's true, Benedict stayed the true pope until his death in 2022, and Francis doesn't count at all. And Malachi's list still has room. Then there's 2027. Buried in the middle of the list is a motto that reads, Axis in meditate signi, the axle in the middle of the sign. An axle is the center of a wheel, the point that everything turns around. The motto belonged to Pope Sixtus V, who took office in 1585. Celestine II, the first pope on the list, took the throne in 1143. Then 442 years later, we get to the middle, the Axle, in 1585. Count forward another 442 years, the count ends in 2027. And Sixtus carried a picture of the countdown everywhere he went. His coat of arms shows a...
This is too much. Why do people have so much energy for this dumb shit? What, Pope shit?
Lion with an axle...
Probably because some people are brainwashed and they love Pope shit, and then other people want it to fall and collapse.
...lead across its middle. For 400 years, nobody thought much about it. A lion on a shield. Then in 2025, the church elected a pope who took the name Leo. There's the lion. The prophecy pointed to Leo, and it may have pointed at him twice. Remember why Francis fit the final motto? The son of Italian immigrants, Roman blood on the throne of Rome? Now look closer at the man from Chicago. His grandfather was born in Sicily, and his name was Rigatano. When he came to America, he changed his name to Prevost. The new pope carries Italian blood and a name that isn't his. Maybe Peter the Roman isn't coming. Maybe he's already on the throne. And Francis behaved like a man who knew. On his first morning as pope, he didn't go to St. Peter's. He crossed the city to the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore and knelt inside. That church holds the tomb of Pope Sixtus V, the Axle. 12 years later, when Francis died, he skipped the Vatican crypt where popes are buried and chose Santa Maria Maggiore for his own grave. Peter the Roman rests under the same roof as the pope whose motto starts the countdown. Even the sky has plans for 2027. On August 2nd of that year, the moon crosses the sun over the Mediterranean and holds there for 6 minutes. That's a long eclipse. Astronomers already call it the eclipse of the century, and its shadow runs straight across the old Roman world: Spain, North Africa, Egypt. Malachi's list once marked a pope with the labor of the sun. Now the list ends when the sun goes dark. The pieces fit. The prophecy was never about the man, it was about the year. As I write this, we have about 6 months left until the year of the apocalypse. I always felt like we were in the final days, so now that they're here,
Bro, we welcome the fucking end, right? Bring it on. Bring it the fuck on, dude.
Out and enjoy them. But after that, ye shall prepare to be judged. A medieval saint sees the future. The Vatican hides his warning. 4
9
centuries
minutes.
later, the world finds it, and the greatest
Pack your
historian in
bowls.
Rome proved it never misses. The prophecy of the popes is one of the all-time greatest stories. But is it true?
Yep.
Well, let's look at the public record.
No.
Malachi's vision. The earliest version of that story appeared in 1871, not 1139. The origin story of the prophecy is younger than the telegram.
I don't like this scene. Can we go back to the lightning scene? The lightning scene was fun. This feels like school.
Bernard of Clairvaux wrote a detailed biography of Malachi. He did write that he predicted his own death, but he doesn't mention predictions about popes. In fact, nobody does. There's no mention of the prophecy for another 400 years. When Vian published the list in 1595, he didn't claim it was found in the Vatican archive. He never said where it came from, just that people wanted to see it. It is true that Vian included Chacón's comments to prove the predictions. Small problem. The only accurate predictions already happened. The early mottos fit because Chacón made them fit. After 1590, precise names and titles became vague phrases like country animal and delight of the cross. These mottos are vague because Chacón ran out of history. That is, if Chacón actually had anything to do with the list at all. Chacón was a famous scholar who specialized in manuscripts and the papacy. He was alive when the list was released. His name was on it, but he never mentioned it, not ever. Some say his
The Jesuits really pissed me off the most. Yeah, fuck them all, dude.
silence proves he had nothing to do with it. So why didn't he refute it? Well, this is the 16th century. It's not like he could file a copyright claim. He was a serious...
Smash like on that freaking stream if you like it, boys. Also, reminder, no show tomorrow. Sorry, but gotta do some teacher training stuff. But we'll be back on Wednesday. Okay?
historian and a priest. He would have distanced himself from the list, not called attention to it. But we're not at a dead end. The real author did leave clues. In 1557, the church historian Onofrio van Pino published a history of every pope. His book contained a handful of mistakes, and the prophecy repeats those same mistakes. Take the motto for John the 22nd, the bony shoemaker. The printed answer says his father made shoes. His father was a banker. The shoemaker mistake comes from Panvino's book, and the prophecy used it. The 2027 number is easily debunked. Sixtus is supposed to be
This shit is just always fake.
middle of the list. He's the axle. But he's number 73. That's nowhere near the middle. So even if you believe that Sixtus is the axle, we have 20 or more popes to go. That could mean over 100 years. As for the lion,
No, dude, please. I like the first part where it all ends next year.
there's been 13 popes named Leo before this one. Put a lion on a list of 100 mottos, and sooner or later, you'll get a lion. Popes usually choose their second name in honor of their favorite
Hit that like.
saint or to honor someone in the Bible they admire. That's a limited selection of names. But one name they never choose is Peter. It would be an insult to take the name of the first pope who was chosen by Jesus himself. Remember the famous line from Matthew 16, "And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not
And I
prevail
tell you that you are Paul, and on this rock I build the Las Vegas shooting."
against it." No pope would elevate himself to Peter. It's just not done. So don't hold your breath for a Peter the Roman. There are some eerie coincidences, though. John the 23rd really was the Patriarch of Venice. Paul VI really did have fleur-de-lis on his crest. My favorite are the eclipses. They really did happen on the dates of John Paul II's birth and funeral. But there's an eclipse somewhere on the Earth every 18 months. The thing is, an eclipse is not visible from everywhere on Earth, and the eclipses that are connected to Pope John Paul were invisible from where he was. Speaking of Pope John Paul II,
Yeah, Jesus didn't give a flying fuck about any of this bullshit.
the Vatican interpreted the Third Secret of Fatima as the violence of the 20th century, and the wounded Pope as John Paul II, who survived being shot in 1981. The vision is real. The children reported it, and the Vatican published the text, but it's not connected to the prophecy at all. And the two popes theory? Well, that's been rejected and debunked. Benedict was alive.
They should fucking kiss, dude.
Rejected it, and the theory outlived him anyway. So if the prophecy wasn't a prophecy, then what was it? Probably election propaganda. Remember in 1958, Francis Spellman portrayed himself as a shepherd and a sailor to fit the prophecy? He wasn't the first to try to manipulate an election. The prophecy was probably a forgery created by Cardinal Girolamo Simoncelli during the election of 1590. The next motto on the list reads, "From the Old City." Simoncelli's hometown was Orvieto, in Latin, the Old City. So he forges a prophecy and gets an endorsement from the world's leading papal scholar, Alfonso Ciccone. Now maybe Ciccone was in on it, maybe not. That's still debated. But it doesn't matter. Simoncelli lost.
He rigged the system and still lost? It sounds like Hillary.
Oh, you know the rules.
Right. We don't joke about the Clinton. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Go ahead.
The prophecy of the popes has been failing for years, and every time it does, the prophecy gets an update to make it fit. The more interesting question is, why? Why are we so fascinated with the end of the world? I am. I love a disaster movie. Anything post-apocalypse, I'm in. Why? What's my problem? Well, different cultures will have different reasons for the end of the world. Religious cultures will have something like a final judgment.
What, does anyone have a song to listen to tonight for 9/11?
A cleansing catastrophe, a savior returning at the climax of history. More secular cultures use the same pattern, they just change the vocabulary. Nuclear Armageddon, super plague, AI takeover, climate apocalypse.
Taylor Swift's jet just took off from Groton, Connecticut, en route to Palm Beach, Florida. Ray, please get your laser pointer ready. Yeah, nail him. Paul said you're not allowed to point laser pointers at aircraft. By the time it reaches the aircraft, the laser is 6 feet wide and it'll blind them. Duh, Paul, that's the point.
Those are all possible.
Yeah, but-
except the climate thing.
Look, the climate is changing.
I'll never get over that article that Paul was quoted in saying you're not allowed to point lasers at airplanes and helicopters.
You go live in a pod and eat the bugs. If you need me, I'll be at a Sizzler in Florida, eating a bone-in ribeye and ignoring Bill Gates.
But the one thing all humans have in common is that we're unique and that we know for 100% certainty that we're going to die one day. We just don't know when or how. So even the most brave, stoic, peaceful person has this deep existential dread. We all have it, it's natural to worry. But we'd rather go out as part of some cosmic drama, not an accident or illness or some random event. We can't control how many days we have left, but we can control what we do with those days. So treat tomorrow like it exists. Learn something, love someone, do something that matters, build something that lasts. Don't focus on your death. Just focus on doing everything you can so that when it gets here, you don't have a single regret. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is AJ. That's Hecklefish.
My motto is Tomeo Cancri Be the Crib Kid.
This has been the White Files. If you had fun or learned anything, we'd appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, comment, share. I know I'm a broken record, but that stuff really helps the channel. And like most topics we cover on the channel, today's was recommended by you, a lot of you. And thank you for this one. This was a fun one.
AJ
if there's a story you'd like to hear or learn more about, go to whitefiles.com/tips. Reach us on YouTube, send me
is his little son.
Send in your ideas. We're always looking for those. And if you enjoy these stories, check out my other show on the channel. It's called The Basement. It's a conversation show where I chat with the interesting people behind the episodes. Some of them you know, some you don't, but they're all people I find.
Anyway. What the fuck is this?
The sky is home to creatures that amaze scientists and birdwatchers alike. Some birds have feathers that shimmer like jewels.
What the fuck is that, dude? You gotta stop with this. There's no way this bird is real. This is a fake bird.
While others survive in the most extreme environments. Today we'll meet some of nature's most
fucking AI
extraordinary
shit. Oh my god, that
birds.
looked like Jimothy. Do you guys know Jimothy? Jimothy the raccoon? Here it comes. Happy 9/11. We did it. Who was really behind 9/11, says Theo Vaughn and fucking John Kirakuk. Dude, yeah, they played Seek Up and it was 21 minutes. It was so fucking awesome, bro. Everybody's posting good-ass videos of this weekend. I guess it's good for the Disney adults to be up front to get good videos for us. Did anyone suggest something? The new did you say Denzel Curry? No, who'd you say? Uh-oh. I don't have a song, guys. Steve Lacy. We're gonna get in trouble for this though, probably. Steve Lacy type beat. What's the song? BB? Sorry, I can't play anymore. Man, we can't do anything. But that last song was Steve Lacy. Max suggested it. That's what that link was I just shared. Get the fuck off the commode. Alright, hopefully they don't get us. I think we made it. We made it past the getting got stage. Nirvana, but jazz.
Steven Spielberg, I know we have beef, but I've done more for Gremlins than you would believe. Now they say you're making Gremlins 3, but I already made that movie, why you copying me? There's no need to be jealous, just call me and we can bury the hatchet. Stop being rebellious and call me. Together we can crack this, we can remake Gremlins 3, hand in hand in harmony.
Wait.
I've got a 20
There's two Gremlins?
year plan for the Gremlin franchise.
Wait, Spielberg made the first Gremlins?
Gizmo becomes a gremlin and then sadly dies. He has a gremlin human hybrid son named Desmond. He's the one. He struggles with depression cause he can't go in the sun. But then he steals the hearts of millions with his charm and with his wit. He made the #1 dance. He calls it Desmond Dip. So lay down your ego and call me. Let's bury
No, it was Joe Dante that directed.
the hatchet. Spielberg and let's go. Like Lennon and McCartney, I know that we can crack this. People everywhere will cry. Hell yeah, it's Gremlins time. It's Gremlins time.
Okay.
Feel better. Steven Spielberg, I know we have beef, but I've done.
Do we think Lindsey Graham was assassinated with the Corbett Report?
Welcome back to New World Next Week. I'm James Corbett of CorbettReport.com.
And I'm James Evan Pilato of MediaMonarchy.com. We're getting ahead of a bigger issue and protecting customers from higher costs in the future. We have got that story, plus most.
We haven't listened to the Alex Jones song in a minute. True.
Sought assets, but first, this week in RIP, rest in peace, but also other words we will not use here. Was Lindsey Graham assassinated? Putin aide blames Israel's Mossad amid MAGA's poisoned claim, and Trump is next. Damn, Corbett, this sounds like from Sorcha Fall from back in the day. They also claim, of course, Trump is next, which is like Angel is next, which
Trump always wants to be next, bro.
Any 9/11 student should know what that means. Grabbing this from Hindustan Times, the death of South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has opened a Pandora's box of conspiracy theories on social media, James, which I refer to as the internet. Leading the charge, far-right influencer Laura Loomer, who has claimed that Iran or Russia poisoned the senator who recently visited Ukraine in an official capacity. The senator's death surprisingly came just hours after he returned from Kiev. Graham's office said earlier that he died from a brief illness on Saturday night. He was 70.
Oh, the guy who directed Gremlins and Gremlins 2 also directed Small Soldiers. Dude, that movie is kick-ass. When was the last time y'all saw Small Soldiers? It's way better. It's even better than I thought. I also didn't finish it, though. I fell asleep before the end, so I need to finish it. But I started watching it probably 2 months ago. And I was like, damn, this is actually kind of fun.
Later, his office revealed the senator's cause of death as a tear in his aorta due to cardiovascular disease. But the sudden nature of his death has sparked theories and doubts in the public mind, which is pretty much all anybody has in their minds anymore about every news story in the world, especially about a foreign plot to kill the senator being at work. So much so that FBI Director J. Edgar Boozer announced later on Sunday that the agency will investigate the senator's death, even as MAGA, because it's just one giant unit that decides on its own. Even as the MAGA claim that the senator was poisoned by either Russia or Iran, a completely different hypothesis has emerged from the Russian side. Top advisor of Russian President Vladimir Putin, Israel's counterintelligence agency Mossad could be behind the death of the 71-year-old senator. Also read, what is an aortic rupture? The senator, notably, was a close ally of the Israel cause throughout his political career, which, James, I feel like from how old this dude always looked, to look and see that he's only been there for the last 20 years, I was actually kind of surprised. He's not a decades and decades long guy like Chucky Schumer. Pretty great performance from Chuck Schumer in Congress today. After his death, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu remembered him as a good friend and said that he already...
How come Bibi never wears his yarmulke? I never see it on him.
This is Graham. It's like, okay, you went too far. I can believe you say, oh, I'm sad that this other politician died, but that's your good buddies and you're already sad about him being gone. You pushed it too far. Rest in war. And yeah, all the armchair conspiracists thought it was this other guy. Mitch McConnell says after weeks of speculation that dude is dead, no proof of life, everybody's lying, that he was just in the hospital because he fell. And of course, when you go to the hospital, you're also going to contract pneumonia as well. Posting a proof of life picture with he and his wife that, of course, the memers instantly turned into he was a dead zombie and she's alive. Right there. McConnell says after weeks of speculation, hospitalization was due to fall and pneumonia. But I think really, honestly, his wife's Chi-Com connections are far more interesting to investigate. Elaine Chow. And as we are piling up the RIPs, New Zealand icon Sam Neill had been sick with pneumonia before death. Co-star says, grabbing that
Diddy got him
from Stuff NZ. And James, I was actually just watching a horror documentary which kept showing Sam Neill in some of his bigger roles in the 90s. And the most horrifying thing is that Sam Neill said, salvation lies in vaccination. It's like the words came out of his mouth of madness. Horror fans will get that joke. Sam Neill talks new film, says salvation lies in vaccines, February 4th, 2021. So not very surprising there. And yes, it's always better, when we've just got videos of them saying, I love all this COVID stuff. I've got 18 boosters and you should too. And then whoops, later they're dead. But the one we are sad about here to announce here in the Media Monarchy Kingdom, RIP to a giant in the field of independent media, John Rappaport, passed away July 8th, 2026. He knows
that guy looks like that eagle from the Muppets. What's his name? Steven Eagle or something?
He posted his pre-recorded farewell message, which his executive producer has shared and made the announcement. I will include the links, James, to just a search on Corbett Report for John Rappaport. And I'll link to my one interview with John Rappaport from 2014, where we talked about his article that maybe some of the giants of jazz were also MK Ultra subjects. Rest in peace, rest in war, James.
The jazz ones even? Oh, wait. I kind of shared this. Speaking of MK Ultra.
Tulsi Gabbard's brother being arrested for so y'all know I just had to come on here and talk about Tulsi Gabbard's brother being arrested for trying to lure children into his hotel room. Because some of y'all might remember on my backup count, as well as my YT page, that I have been suspecting that the Gabbard family was part of MK Ultra. And now with her brother's recent mental health episode that they're getting him help for, it just further aligns with my theory. Because Tulsi Gabbard and her whole family actually belong to a cult called Science of Identity Foundation, run by this man, Christopher Butler. And in
dude, like the finders, like, dude, the whole government, everyone involved in it has to have gone through MK Ultra. There's no way. There's no way they aren't doing that.
2022.
At this point, 50 years after they fucking said that they closed MK Ultra, come on. We can't be naive.
Carolyn Gabbard, who is the aunt of Tulsi Gabbard, also the brother of her father, came out publicly and flat out accused
that guy looked like a Jeff Dunham puppet.
The family of belonging to a cult with a toxic influence over Tulsi's political career and decision making. So much so that she actually did her formative years in a boarding school in the Philippines that was run by this cult. I'm going to play the video that I had previously recorded regarding the family and then come back here and we're going to talk about the brother. Y'all know that Tulsi Gabbard had an aunt who was recently murdered? All the recent reporting around the cult that apparently she belongs to, I decided I was going to dig into her a little bit for fun. Not only is she a part of this cult, but her dad and her mother were teachers for the Science of Identity Foundation, listed as employees in the early 90s. So Tulsi Gabbard's father's sister was Caroline Gabbard, but on May 26, 2024, she was apparently murdered, supposedly by this prominent Samoan playwright named Sia Faigiao. I'm so sorry. And guess what? During the trial in January of 2026, she was found
She says, "I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name, murderer."
dead in her cell. Yep. And the way the story goes, that Sia drove to her friend's house the night of the
Brazil is such a good movie. What's another movie that's like that has that same Brazil energy? I love that movie. It's so fucking wild.
murder and stayed the night. And then the next morning confessed that she had done something terrible. Now her friend, who was apparently also a doctor.
No, dabble do ya. I swear to God, all the social media and stuff is just the final product of MK Ultra, digitized and universalized and just spread amongst the masses. I mean, truly, every one of us has it in our pockets. It's feeding us these algorithms. Who knows what the fuck they're doing? We know their favorite thing is to manipulate the human brain. Phones and social media and shit is all... Like, dude, honestly, everything about our fucking culture is a product of MK Ultra at this point. I mean, they're taking the color out of everything. Like, they're feeding us poison. They're fucking warping our brains. They're giving us sex kitten, you know, fucking pop stars to keep our brains occupied.
And a distant relative said that she was fearing self-harm and asked if somebody was hurt. Sia admitted that her friend was no longer alive inside of her home. She refused to speak the name and said that she didn't deserve to say it, but then drove her car to her friend's place, as in the victim's car, and apparently confessed to the doctor that the victim had come over for lunch and a tense conversation escalated. Mind you, they were colleagues, friends, and Gabbard was her mentor. And the author described an overwhelming anger that swelled up until she blacked out, saying that the victim had been injured with a hammer. Apparently, even though she was a self-unaliving risk, she ultimately wanted to surrender. Sia then apparently was brought to the police station and turned herself in. Now here's where things get a little weird. Forensic pathologist said that she died from severe traumatic head injuries consistent with blunt force trauma, multiple skull fractures, defensive wounds on her arm. Now Sia's own lawyer was trying to get psychiatric assessments, but she was refusing. And she told the court during her trial that the devil persuaded her to commit these acts. Now Sia also declined name suppression.
Bro, this is exactly what happened to Selena. Y'all ever watch that movie, Selena? With J-Lo and Edward James Olmos?
Meaning that her...
They were playing that. Dude, when I went to go pick up the fucking car, the rental car to go to the shows, I went and there was like, I swear to God, like 100 people in line. It was insane. We were there for like, I was there for like a fucking hour. And the whole time they had Selena playing in the lobby, so I was just watching Selena.
name would have been kept out of the papers. Also refused to release mental health records and disclose past hospitalizations. Like, it seems to me like she wasn't even trying to help her own case. What's also really confusing is
when will
I found something so y'all know
when will Trump turn on Paulo? I don't think he will, dude. I think they all have too much shit on each other.
Then the police upgraded the charge after finding incriminating evidence, including a small knife and a hammer. Yes, not only was she beaten with the hammer, but she was
Oh, I never have seen Videodrome. That does sound like a good idea.
stabbed. So I'm very confused on A, why the initial charge wasn't murder, and B, what the murder weapons did to change it to a murder charge. I also like to note at this point that 3 months later, to the day, Tulsi Gabbard publicly announced her endorsement of Donald Trump in 2024. I say this because I am suspicious for many reasons about this case, namely this one. A doctor different than the forensic pathologist confirmed that the body was in an advanced state of decomposition upon arrival at the National Hospital morgue. Well, according to the story, it was 24 hours before she confessed to this. An advanced decomp is usually 10 to 25 days after the death. If we go back and look at the witness's statements, she said that she blacked out after swelling up with anger and said,
oh, dude, I have seen Suspiria. That fucking movie is cool, too. I haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe I'll rewatch it.
The victim had been injured with a hammer, no mention of a knife, and saying that the devil...
I think I like the remake, too, even. But the old one was crazy.
Persuaded her to commit the acts makes me think of some MK Ultra shit, especially considering she had a history of bipolarism, so she is the kind of candidate that they look for. Now, she was on solitary confinement when she hung herself, and the Samoa police, of course, put out a statement saying that it was a self-unaliving, probably, and no additional injuries were found. I'm very curious to see how she managed to do that in solitary confinement while on psychiatric watch, but the next day after the Samoa police made that statement, apparently the coroner urged that they had to stop turning her death into morbid public propaganda. And the coroner's office went through the courts to have the Samoa police take that down. Because apparently when it comes to self-unalivings, they only are allowed to publish something if the coroner approves it. And it wasn't just the police. They legally prohibited the media outlets from reporting on her specific manner.
Yeah, that Goblin soundtrack is sweet.
Death. Now, what if I were to tell you that despite the case wrapping up in September of 2025, at the time of her death, there had still not been a verdict. And perhaps the reason there had been no verdict is because it came out during the trial that the murder weapons were missing from police custody. That's right, both the knife and the hammer were gone. The judge was doubting the prosecution's ability to meet evidentiary standards. So do we think it's just a coincidence that now here we are 7 months later after her murderer is found dead in their cell after she had publicly criticized the cult that the Gabbard family belonged to and its leader, right before she got the job as the director of national intelligence? Now, why do I think this has anything to do with MK Ultra? I want to point out that on May 13th of this year, the CIA actually told the Oversight Committee about the raid that Tulsi Gabbard had taken a bunch of MK Ultra boxes, and they did a...
That's right. I wonder why she did that.
Preservation notice to make sure that those weren't destroyed. 9 days later, Tulsi Gabbard resigns as the CIA director. So no, we're not buying the story that it was because of her husband's bone cancer. How does this relate to her brother? Well, let's look into what his mental health issue is. Because we've heard about the notebook, we've heard about the gum and the candy and trying to get a 9-year-old boy back to his hotel room. But it was more than that. His wife had actually filed a protective order citing erratic behavior, noting that he'd been sleeping on the streets, giving away his vehicle to a homeless person, and lost his phone and identification. But he's also been experiencing delusions, believing he was a rock star named Jim Morrison Jr. Obviously, something has broken in his brain at this.
Bro, he probably literally is. He probably literally is Jim Morrison's kid. I mean, Rush Limbaugh's kid. He kind of
right?
looks fat like him.
Well, it's the fact that he was pretending to be Jim Morrison Jr. that really piqued my interest. And so I started doing some digging, and as it turns out, there are some massive connections between the CIA and Jim Morrison. But that's going to make this video too long, so I'm going to put it all in a part 2. So y'all know I just had to come on here and talk about Tulsi Gabbard's brother being...
All right, boys. Let's watch this John Levi, and then we're going to wrap up and go to bed, okay? I'm so fucking beat. Yeah, grew up in Laurel Canyon. Yeah, what even is this country? Dude, I swear to God, it is a big, dumb, ugly, hideous, fucking roach-infested family that's tricked all of us into being slaves willingly. How fucking stupid are we? We let these Habsburg jaw motherfuckers imprison us on literal heaven. The earth is fucking heaven, dude. And they got us doing jobs. The fuck? I'm never gonna get over that. How have we strayed this far?
Better put this pop filter on. I feel like other people don't need a pop filter. So, I'm kind of in a pickle. Twice a year, I struggle with something. A power issue. I have solar power. 3 solar panels.
Another great thing, another great side effect for covering the sun, besides not letting us have any fucking, you know, data or whatever, vibrations from the sun, is that we also can't have solar energy and be self-sustaining.
600 watts. You all should have at least 1,000. I should have 1,000. To run a house. To run a small house like mine. 400 square feet. And twice a year, once in the winter, the darkest time of winter, I need to charge my batteries with a generator. And once around the peak of summer, because I run the swamp cooler, kind of air conditioning, a kind of fan, water that flows behind it. And I run it from noon to about 9 at night, and it runs my batteries out. The reality of living on solar. These are little Russian olive trees that I've transplanted, I should say, and then I'll transplant them again. Olive trees, but their olives are not as tasty as Mediterranean ones. This is one of my pine trees, and this cottonwood just grew here, right next to the
Weeks
other
is doing
pine
drugs
tree.
again.
So, aside from the 100-degree weather and my little bit of gardening, I didn't show you much of my gardening. This is a maple tree. I dug it up at the park. There's a lot of them. Sometimes they just get mowed over, and sometimes you can find them on the edge of the park. They don't get sprayed with weed killer. I've done this several times this year. I have a bunch of maples now. And this is kind of what my pictures look like. I don't think I've ever shared my pictures like this. What chaos. And here, if we go way up, this is what it usually looks like. Just pictures. A lot of pictures with me and Chief and the cats. Why do we take all these pictures? My whole life here. Really, my thoughts. Here we can see the analema, things that I will have shared in videos.
1 second, 10-1.
And mostly, I would have just forgotten about a lot of this if it wasn't for this reminder of kind of where I was in my life, what I was researching, just everything. It's kind of like my photo album. We don't really have photo albums, not like we used to. And a lot of these are like reminders to myself. Here we can see a bucket full of chicken eggs. And really, I haven't been doing as much traveling as I would like to. Ever since I ended up with all these cats. It's nice. I like the cats. I do need some kind of help, maybe, if I want to travel. There's like pet services, but I don't know. As a child, we were always, my sister and I, left with babysitters. Just random babysitters. So many stories, so many adventures with these probably unqualified to be babysitters. I would not leave my pets with anyone. Certainly not my children. So what a weirdo I am. Forgive me. What is going on? Give us something, old world. Didn't come here for this. Oops, sorry, Chief. He doesn't like my sarcasm. So let me find what I'm looking for and I'll be right back. So this is the beginning of the old world part. Forgive me. I should be serious. Serious. So, in my last video, we discussed whether or not the arch, or triumphal arches, or whatever you want to call them, whether they were the entrances to buildings. Wouldn't that be interesting? And we discovered that to be the case. I mean, here, we're looking at it. This looks like it's in Milan. Maybe a mall? A mall in Milan. I used to have a landlord named Milan. I think he was like Czechoslovakian or something. So here we are. Is it so crazy? No, it's not crazy at all. So of course I took it further and considered, of course, because I don't know. I considered whether perhaps and possibly all arches once had grand and glorious buildings. As you can see here, this building attached to it, which is clearly part of the building, is equally as grand and glorious. Look at this. It's probably a big square in here, like an internal courtyard once you go through this. And what if they were all...
Sorry. Is he saying that all these are like magnets?
Parts of buildings. And people in our community don't like...
Dude, people are losing it outside right now. I didn't know anyone cared about the fucking World Cup. This is crazy.
Like that. Some.
Also, like, having the final World Cup on Sunday is kind of like... Yeah, isn't it like Monday in the UK then? Why wouldn't you have it on Saturday?
Some people who have an idea or think they do. Like, I have all the ideas. They're all on the table. Some on the shelf. But this, at least for me, probably for some of you, is a new idea. I mean, these arches. I mean, I question everything. You know, I question whether we built them, you know, my answer to that. And then I go further and say, well, what were they? Why were they? In the old world, by the people, the artistic builders of the past, before the reset, why did they build them? Were they so vain? Are we so vain? I think we are. I mean, like, how bold. Let's just make this really expensive structure for nothing.
Yeah, we're in a frequency jail for sure. I want to make some potato skins. Dude, fuck. I haven't made potato skins in forever. That does sound fucking incredible. I've had potato skins that are like double deep fried, and then you put like mashed potatoes. Like, you take some of the potatoes and make like mashed potatoes, essentially, like mashed cheese potatoes. Then you put it on the inside, and then you broil that shit on top of the potato skins. Genius.
For triumph. And is triumph enough? So pompous? So frivolous? An arch of triumph? I don't think so. And again, it wasn't until I saw this building in Vienna, Austria. Oh, Vienna. You can add to that if you want. Vienna, this arch.
Vienna
sausages. In like the 1870s is attached to a building, and it's huge. It is huge.
Dude, you know what the best party... Oh, here we go. What's the best, like, potluck or, like, you know, side thing that you get for... Could be picnic, could be like holiday thing. You know what I'm thinking of? Like those little mini weenie barbecue weenies. What's up with those? Why are those so good? Did you know that recipe usually has like a jar of grape jelly in it? When I found that out, I was like, that's crazy. Barbecue sauce and grape jelly? Okay. Maybe that's the secret. Yeah, the fucking meatballs too. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, those barbecue meatballs. That's what's up.
Huge.
My parents made tiny glizzies every New Year's Eve. Yeah, exactly. It's like a New Year's Eve
Let me
thing.
show you that. Here we go. Look at this beautiful picture. And look at this.
Deviled eggs. Yep. You know we're all about them fucking deviled eggs, bro.
Beautiful arch. Beautiful arch. This is so sick. I mean, I just glossed over it. Let me show you the guys up here. I should have pointed that out. The guys up here. Look at these two guys. Now look at this building. The windows
Jeez
behind
Louise.
them. 1870s? Look at this. This is absolutely fit for being a modern stadium. A modern football or whatever.
I can't believe that they destroyed all this shit.
Stadium. The most beautiful
What cucks?
stadium in the world. In Austria. 1870s Austria. And the arch again. The arch. Couple guys here. Couple guys. A lady. Maybe it's a man. A bunch of people in here, actually. We see some chairs. Cheap chairs. Look at this. Like a mall. I mean, not.
Yeah, mini wings and meatballs with the chili sauce. Woo, yeah. Tiny sausages, you mean? Yeah. Ooh, the mushrooms filled with cheese, yeah. Chips and dip, yeah. I like a good French onion dip. Honestly, I like kind of all dips, but French onion is the shit. I need that chili recipe you talked about with the Morningstar and the Bear. Okay. I could post it on Discord. I'll have to find it. Well, I know where it is, but I'll try and do it later tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, bacon wrapped jalapeno joints. Ooh.
Not too dissimilar from. I mean, today
with
it's
the
a
cream
mall
cheese.
and shopping, and maybe that's what it was. But I don't think so. This looks like a stadium.
Dude, buffalo chicken dip, artichoke dip. I fuck with that stuff. Yeah, Pittsburgh has deep fried deviled eggs. That's next level. French onion dip fucks so hard.
In this case, an old world stadium, state of the art. And here we go. Forgive me. Here's the proof. The Union Station Arch is a 35-foot Beaux-Arts arch standing in a park. In a park. So here we go. We're gonna learn about arches all in one evening breath. Approaching 11:30 p.m. The arch is standing in Commons Park in Columbus, Ohio. The work was designed by renowned architect Daniel
Burnham?
Burnham, part of the World's Fairs. Burnham. We've talked about ham, biblical.
Bro, taco dip. My mom's taco dip is the best. Fuck yeah, with the taco dip. I had a scotch egg once in Scotland. It's pretty good at a wedding. You had deviled eggs today? Dude, lucky. Yeah, when I was in Pittsburgh for 2 days, the food there was pretty fucking awesome. And everyone we asked for food recs was like, bro, you gotta go here, here, here. We're like, oh, we only have like fucking 24 hours. Squeaks. Oh, it's Winky. Winky's tearing around the house. What are you doing, you little bird? Look at this little worm. She's blending in. Oh, she left. Deviled eggs, is it a holiday? Dude, every day could be a fucking holiday if you make a platter of deviled eggs. Sometimes I need to remember that I'm a fucking adult. I could, dude, if I wanted to, I could just make a fuck ton of eggs, or a fuck ton of deviled eggs for just myself. And dude, I just got some eggs for my dumplings. Fuck yeah, dude.
We have a lot of cities that are something ham. I've proposed that this is rooted in the biblical Ham, his cities, that old. And maybe this is just a play on words to burn and destroy the cities of Ham. So they tell us the Union Arch, and this thing is beautiful.
Mac salad. Oh yeah, mac salad and potato salad. That shit's to die for, bro. Coleslaw I fuck with.
Let me try to make it bigger. I don't know what's happening here. I think I have
Wish
a lot
I had
of
all of
dust
that
on
tonight.
my trackpad. Look at this arch. Look at the beauty. An old world classic. This arch was designed by a World's Fair dude as part, here we go, as part of a grand entranceway to the city's Union Station. Ding. You see what I'm saying here? Do you
Rum
see?
ham.
The arch is sitting in a park. Oh, I didn't tell you the whole story. The Union Station has been demolished. That's why there's just an arch sitting in a park. And all that's left is the damn entrance, the entryway to the city's Union Station. It has intricate details, Corinthian columns. Some of the things from the demolishment are currently in storage. At least we have something. What did the building look like? And again, I told you, it's not the arch. It's what was around the arch.
Avocados are elite. Dude, you know what else is nice? A nice little cheese board. Or like a pickle board with a bunch of different kind of pickles. Barbecue chicken fucks too. Baked beans with apples and bacon. Yo.
Some people said, how?
Wait, what are fried apples? That sounds awesome.
They demolished the building and not damage the arch. Well, you saw it. They did a good job. Look at this. The arch. 1900 to 1914. Come on. Come on. And you demolish this? Why was this not an architectural treasure that was celebrated for hundreds of years?
'Cause we got to hide the evidence. Da 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 da.
Who would demolish this? So here we go. The arch was part of Columbus's Union Station.
I saw an episode of Hoarders, and the hoarder had an unfathomable amount of deviled egg trays. So many different trays out there. Deviled egg trays are underrated. That was the only time I saw Hoarders, and I was like, I get it, bro. Fuck yeah, dude. Let him have his trays.
Columbus, Ohio, again. Designed by B.S. Architect in 1893. Are you kidding me?
outta here.
Oh my god, here we go. It was originally the northern of two identical arches. The northern. So there would have been a southern one, just like it, that they must have demolished. The southern archway was demolished. Here we go. Thank you. Along with a third of the colonnade in 1928. Are you kidding me? So you want to tell me you were too good for this? Someone was too good? Or was somebody erasing something that is too beautiful for an early time period of Columbus, Ohio? I mean, this is so beautiful. Worthy of an emperor. I don't give a damn about emperors or kings or queens. I'm just saying, like, the finest. Like, this is the finest. This is the...
Yeah, dude, vintage Tupperware. Honestly, vintage everything is so much cooler. I'm so sick of, like, everything being cheap, plastic, gray. I'm sick of it. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, dude. Nothing lasts. Everything fucking sucks. Nothing has color. Nothing has style anymore. Everything's just streamlined, boring as fuck. It looks like it's easy to manufacture. I fucking hate everything that that's like for us now.
kind of thing you're proud of, again, for hundreds of years. And what did they make here now? Again, what did they do? They made a park. A park? Like all this material?
Literally, dude, everything is a Chipotle building, and I fucking hate it. Like that fucking, what is that? What's that, like, galvanized steel? That crinkly steel shit? Ugh, everything sucks. The aesthetics of everything made now blows. All the cars suck. Nothing is cool anymore. Everything's just a blobby bubble. It looks like it was, everything looks like it was fucking, I don't know. Yeah, made to be like, for the the least common denominator. Or what is it? Most common? The lamest. So that everyone likes it. All cars are gray. True. They suck. They're getting us ready for the comfy FEMA camps.
It was just so disposable. Like, it was so easy. We wasted...
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Everything breaks so fast. It gets me fucking mad, too. Everything is fucking made like shit, dude.
BS architect's time. Burnham.
It's like capitalism is always going to be just a race to the bottom.
Wasted his time. And I want to get back to...
even that. All logos are simplified now. No one has any sense of style whatsoever. Everything is just the first letter of whatever the thing is and then a solid color background.
How I said people are disappointed with me because I don't believe these were magnetic arches. Well, you know, that's fine and all. Like, that would be cool. You know, some videos, including old Flip Floppy, talked about these being magnetic arches.
Everything's fake communism. I mean, truly, right, though? Everyone's always like, oh, with communism, everybody's got to be the same. Everybody's got to be the same. No one's going to own anything. Sounds like fucking capitalism when it turns into renter economy. We're going to have to rent water one of these days.
And again, that would be cool. Like, I'm totally down with Antiquitech. Totally believe these poles up here are tech and not flagpoles. Do I believe these were magnetic arches? Like horseshoe magnets? I mean, I think...
Dude, yeah. Did y'all ever read The Giver in school? Honestly, a dope book. Dude, I've been saying that I'm convinced we live in the Giver world. And like the spirituality or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the energy, the vibes, when we're allowed to flourish, that's like seeing in color.
I think like tech was running through the whole building. It's not just up here. I mean, here it's just gathering an etheric...
That was like my favorite book when I was I forget when it came out. Probably late elementary school. Maybe early middle school, I forget. But yeah, I love that book.
It's not a lightning rod like they tell us. Sometimes they tell us it's a lightning rod and sometimes they tell us it's a flagpole. But yes, tech, and not the kind of tech that people think. And very simply because ultimately, let me get back to my point, a triumphal arch is not a triumphal arch. Let me say that again. The triumphal arch, such as the one that our president wants to build now, was never just a triumphal arch. And we see examples today, as I've shown, such as here in Milan, Italy. Huge. Like, this thing's huge. At least 100, maybe 125. Not shocking, not even slightly reaching. These were never freestanding units. We also see it in the past. This is a World's Fair, we're told. I don't believe that. But what was this? I think more likely a stadium, and this arch is just the entrance to the building again.
Dude, every building they build now is so fucking hideous and boring. Yeah, the architecture fucking sucks. God, everything that we have access to now just fucking sucks.
Entrance to the building. So pretty awesome. Tell me your thoughts. Am I making sense here? Were you one of the people, perhaps, that believed that they were horseshoe magnets? Everything's on the table. I conclude nothing, only propose. But what is an absolute fact is that they were entrances to buildings. So let's take a pause and look at something else.
The fuck happened here?
Okay, I wanted to share some more about the lighthouses that I discussed in a past video. Some more insights have developed, but I want to do it justice and not rush it. So I think we'll just finish off with this demolished station, and only this one of 2 arches remain. So here must be the other one. Horse and wagon time here. Here we go. Horse and wagonage, poop in the streets, and brick streets. Such an abundance in this time period. Let's brick it and then poop on it. Look at this building. Are you grokking this? This building. These people. So, I don't know. I think everybody watching knows how I feel.
Yeah, or all the fucking buildings collapse like that Pfizer building. That shit's crazy, bro. I would never live in any of those skyscrapers. It's literally a race to the bottom, dude. They're trying to give the least amount of material possible so that maybe you won't die.
The story is not true. This is the work of a fine people, a people that surpassed us in many ways. And this is old and left over. And what would we do? We would demolish it. In 1928, who would ever demolish such a thing? Unless it was part of an agenda. Columbus Union Station was a train station in Columbus, Ohio. The station served railroad passengers in Columbus from 1851 to 1977. That must be when it became a park. First station building was the first Union station in the world. Unbelievable. Look at this.
Limping lady loves this guy's voice now. Hell yeah.
Here's the former Union
Didn't you used to hate it?
Station in Portland, Maine. So here we go. Roll up to the castle with the horse to board a train. Come on. One of many, the Union stations. Its replacement was built from 1873 to 1875. So in 2 years, they built this replacement, and then a third one, a new station, and that's the one that was
John's videos are good, like end of the night, time to tuckle up yourself with go to bed, time for night
built by this
great prep
man, Daniel Burnham. New station opens, this one here on the right, in 1897. In 1897, it's finished. And by 1928, they're demolishing it.
Amazing.
Really? Passenger service had declined. It was demolished in 1976. It was demolished in 1928, and parts of it remained. They finished it off to make way for a new convention center.
Look at that
Even though
piece
it
of
had been
shit.
placed on the National Register of Historic Places 2 years prior. So wrap your head around that. They appreciated it, and then they demolished it. A portion of the arcade was saved. Just a little piece. It's like they know damn well how gorgeous it was. They just saved a little piece. Here we go. The
That's
Union
crazy, bro.
Station Arch in the park.
I wonder if that's what, like, you know, Grand Army Plaza has one of these giant arches. I wonder if this was like part of a big old building.
Sitting by itself, nobody would know that a mega building was attached to this. So consider that now. All the monuments, certainly all the arches, total BS. It's like, why? I think a sliver of compassion must come over somebody to just save one little piece, maybe a trophy. Maybe
Yeah,
like
that's what it
saving
feels
a
like.
scalp.
Dude, this is like Dexter's slides. It's like Dexter taking a blood slide when he has a victim.
This is an architectural scalping. You almost can't imagine the building, right? Without seeing it. And we saw it. Here again. Unbelievable. What did the inside look
fuck
like?
them.
So much building. Here we can see it on stilts. They actually had to move it around. And here it is resting at the new location.
The fuck?
Unbelievable. So what do you think? Do you build something like this in such an early time period only to demolish it like 20 years later?
Crazy.
Does that sound right? Can we use common sense? Are we allowed?
They built it out of brick so they could demolish it later. Makes sense, right?
You must remember your schooling had nothing to do with common sense. It was like, here's
And by
what
brick, I mean literal granite and marble.
we tell you, and we're going to test you, and you tell us exactly what we told you. This is not learning. This is indoctrination. And it's the only way it would work. Otherwise, people would figure it out. It's in plain sight. It's everywhere. And yet, without unlocking the mind, it remains invisible. So I think that's all I've got this week. I thank you for joining me. I love you all. God bless. And I'll see you in the next one.
All right, boys. Thanks for being here. Reminder, no show tomorrow. Sorry, teacher training stuff, but it's gonna be dope. I'm excited. It's the first time we're meeting together and trying to do the dialogue. I'm very fucking nervous about it. But yeah, have a good night. We'll be back on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Wednesday, then Thursday. Alrighty. I could try and do a Goodbye Nancy's. Kind of tired though. But it's been a while. We can give it a go. We can also just sing along. Alright, ready? Prepare. I leave August 15th. Breathe in. It's gonna be fine, guys. You could go through the archives. And out. Or we could just fuck around on Instagram, you know? I'm sure I'll be fucking around there. In. And out. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is... Dude, this memorization shit is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. It will not be fine, Cat Dad. Yeah, yes, it will. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna fly by, I promise. And then after Labor Day weekend, it's back. We're back. Alright. It is so time for bed. Jesus Christ. And I'm so hungry. I'm gonna fry up some goddamn dumplings so hard. Close your eyes and take one slow breath in and let it go. Let the day settle like rain sinking into the earth. There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing left to prove. Just breathe. Imagine you're walking through a forest just after a summer storm. The leaves still sparkle with tiny drops of water. The air smells rich, fresh, alive. Every rock is darker. Every color a little brighter. The forest didn't resist the rain. It became more itself because of it. As you walk, you notice the mushrooms pushing up through the soil. They aren't in a hurry. They don't compare themselves to the trees. They simply appear. Exactly when the conditions are right. Maybe we're a little like that. Not meant to force our lives into bloom, but to grow when it's our season. Ahead you hear laughter. You step into a clearing. Friends are dancing. Some barefoot. Some covered in mud. Some singing off key. Nobody's trying to look cool. Nobody's performing. They're simply alive. And that's enough. You join them for a moment and laugh. You spin. You look up at the stars beginning to appear overhead, and you realize something. Maybe happiness isn't something we find. Maybe it's something we remember. The body already knows how to dance. The heart already knows how to love. The soul already knows the way home. So take one final breath in and slowly let it go. For mañana, find a patch of sunlight, smile at a stranger, and stretch your body. Touch a tree, pet a cat, dance when the music finds you, and if it rains, don't always run inside. Sometimes the rain came looking for you. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, when I just accepted that I was just gonna be fucking drenched, I had a lot of fun on that bike ride. It was crazy at some points. It was like pouring rain and I can't see without my glasses. He can't see without his glasses. So I had to keep them on, and the fucking rain was so heavy on them, I could barely fucking see, bro. I was like almost rolling off the bike path and shit. But it was fun. But anyway, boys, alright, sorry no show tomorrow, but, you know, I gotta do this stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. Special treat since I'm bailing on y'all tomorrow. Do-do-do-do. Ollie, bolly, 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 boy. Good night. Knitwitches. We'll see you on Wednesday. Here we go. Ooh. Get up on your feet and shake your tush. Bow, 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 down. Polly, bolly, do you want to come and be my daddy? Polly, bolly, will you be my dad? You owe me so many birthday presents. Come on, Polly, bolly boy, or you can just put them all together and get me like a nice car or something. I don't really want a car, but you know, something like that. Give me a big old kiss, Paul, and show me your love. Ever since you left, I've had a piece missing in my heart, and I need it to come back. I love you, Polly Ball, buddy. I wear jean shorts just like my fucking dad. Ooh, yeah, let's go. Peter Thiel can suck on my balls, bitch. Yeah. We're gonna get you, Peter. We're gonna get you, Peter. He told me, see your eyes, but I want the money, deviled eggs, boys. I see you come, but not Paul. I've never seen Paul come. Stop saying that to me. And I said, oh no, sir, I must say you're wrong. I must disagree. Oh no, sir. Get in your rider truck. I want you to listen to me. My name is Polly Boy. I've been there. I see my hopes and dreams are lying on the ground. FBI is knocking on your door. I said, do you know about the First Amendment? And I said, you can't say anything bad about our orange president, boys, or you'll get sad and probably fall off a balcony. FBI agents, when you come to my house, I'm gonna film your ass, you little ugly bitches. Don't send a lizard or a Mormon. I'm gonna fucking embarrass them, and then I'm gonna post it on the frickin' internet and make fun of you every fucking day for the rest of your life because you're a dumb little Mormon. I'm gonna get your butt, you little sluts. I hate the FBI and I hate the CIA and I hope they all swallow their guns. Please put your service weapon in your mouth and let all the fun come out. You know, I can say that, FBI, because it's not a threat. I'm just saying I wouldn't care if y'all blew your own brains out. Goodbye, Paul and FBI at all. You're a bunch of cunts. Goodbye, Nancy. Nancy fucking Guthrie, please. We need her. Mommy, please, will you find Nancy Boo? Savannah doesn't care about her. She's out filming fucking Wordle with Jimmy Fallon. What the fuck is up with that? She don't give a fucking twit or twat. She don't even care about her mom. I work for the FBI and Savannah told me she doesn't want to find her mom because she doesn't really care. She knows where she is. She put her in a barrel and buried her under her fucking basement. Savannah Guthrie is a criminal. She's also a fucking MK Ultra person. She's a lizard, and she has lizard eyes that go from the side. Oh my god. Mormons, friend of the show. Okay, guys, good night. Alex Jones, don't tempt me. No, it's too late. All right, bye-bye. See y'all on Wednesday. Appreciate y'all. Let me have the night off tomorrow. Don't worry, it's going to be a bunch of work and I'm already so nervous about it. But I think everyone's nervous about it, so it's going to be fine. And honestly, after the first session, when I see how behind I am from everyone, that'll give me the the kick in the ass that makes me actually get it to be memorized. All right, boys. Adieu. I fare thee well. Good night. The FBI loves you. The CIA loves you. Ta-ta.